fans here are hoping this is the final battle in the war leading to next week's $1 million championship game. Today from Los Angeles, California, the L.A. Coliseum, it's the XFL semifinal playoff. The Chicago Enforcers taking on the L.A. Extreme. And last night, a shocking, stunning comeback for San Francisco, down 16-0. They beat Orlando to advance to the $1 million championship game. So we know they're in next week. We'll find out today who will host. Will it be Chicago or will it be Los Angeles? Let's start it off this afternoon down to the field with a mad scramble.
On my whistle, you'll sprint to the football at the 50-yard line. Whichever one of you secures possession of that ball will have the first choice of options to start the game and the first choice of any options should there be an overtime. Get your positions set. Chicago is
Tony McCall coming up with it for Chicago.
They're going to defer.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the XFL and UPN, the semifinal playoffs. Greg Minervini with Bob Golick. We're ready for a great game today. Certainly every coach, Bob, will tell you that you want to have momentum. Big Mo going to the playoffs. Both teams have it. The hottest teams in the league. They've won 5 out of 6. You look at L.A., great rushing attack led by Saladin McCullough late in the season, but their leader's their quarterback, the best in the league, Tommy Maddox.
All season long it's been Maddox. You talk about a guy who can find weapons, get the ball downfield, throw it, make things happen, but also you know he's a leader on this team. He's not one of those sit back and lead by example types either. He will get in your face and make things happen. Also, he knows how to work the ball down the field. He'll move the sticks, get the first down, eat up clock, and score points.
And he's got some great targets, too, to throw at.
That's right, Jermaine Copeland, Darnell McDonald. McDonald coming back from an injury, but both those guys, they're 100%. They will give fits to that Chicago defense.
And you look at the league leaders, Bob, and the main names offensively are L.A. Extreme players. Maddox, #1 passing, #1 touchdown. Jermaine Copeland, the top receiver. Darnell McDonald leading the league in touchdowns. And for more with Jermaine Copeland, let's go down to the field and Kip Lewis.
Jermaine Copeland, we just took a look at how explosive your offense can be, but today you meet up with a very physical Chicago defense. What's it going to take to put some points on the board?
Well, what it's going to take is us just being L.A. I mean, that's what we do. We're a high-powered offense. We score a lot. That's what we plan on doing today. It's game time in L.A. Let's get started.
And Jermaine Copeland certainly ready, as you might expect. The wild guy will love to do that dance if he scores today. You look at Chicago, the great rushing attack certainly, but their leader, and this team turned it around in week 5 when Ron Meyer said, hey, got to make a change of quarterback with McDougal. He's been terrific.
And again, nothing against Timmy Lester, a guy who has done well early in the season, but they weren't winning the games. Kevin McDougal comes in and takes the leadership role, a young guy, but he's not making mistakes, not throwing interceptions. He's getting the ball in the end zone, and along with John Avery really adding to it. Boy, he's doing a nice job with that offense.
Well, he's the man who makes it tick, though. Number 20, the most dazzling player in the XFL, John Avery.
Say all you want about the total number of yards that he has during the course of the year because he was their offense. It's that number right there, 5.3 yards per carry. That's a pretty nice number to know you're going to get every time you give it to John Avery.
I'll take it, and let's go down to the field. More with John. Chris Raggy's got that. Take it away.
John Avery, you've been nursing a bad hamstring the last couple of weeks. I saw you in warm-ups. You got that spring back. You ready to go today in the playoffs?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about making plays, balling. Y'all seen this team for the last couple of weeks. Y'all know we're ready to ball. Since we can't get along, then let's get it on.
A beautiful day in Southern California, 70 degrees, low humidity, a slight wind. It is sunny, weather that Chicago is not used to, Bob. They played in poor weather virtually all season long. And certainly another thing when you talk about the turnarounds for these two teams is the turnover margin, 1-2 in the league.
Without a doubt, you know, you can talk about all the stats all you want are in the league, but all coaches will agree the giveaway takeaway ratio. If you can get up into the positive numbers, you're doing well. And I'll tell you what, the offense for both teams, they're holding on to the ball, they're not giving it away, but their defense is both very opportunistic.
Chicago was at one point forcing just 4 turnovers early in the year. They have turned that around. They have deferred, and Andy Crossland will kick it off, and the semifinal is underway in the direction of Gibson, but it goes out of bounds, and the penalty will be against Chicago and Los Angeles will start off in great shape.
Well, that's, and that's the whole thing. When you defer at the beginning, Greg, you're deferring because you want field position. You want to be able to gain the field position right from the start, get your opponent down, hopefully shut him down. Now with the kicking out of the bounds, hey, man, you blew it, buddy.
Here we go. Yeah, the XFL, you have to keep it in bounds. The 40-yard line is where Tommy Maddox will start off.
Soar, Rocket Florida Special. I want it.
Tommy Maddox, first-round NFL pick some years ago. Go! Terrific quarterback, 29 years of age. 48! McCullough in motion. Maddox looking toward the running back, but fires to the H-back, Frank Leatherwood, for a gain of 7.
The Leatherwood's a guy that you don't hear that often, maybe once every few games, but comes right out the bat. Run a couple of the receivers, and McCullough a little bit deep in intermediate routes. Leatherwood comes out short.
Rose on one, right?
And just starts to move the chains.
Yeah.
During the season, LA threw the ball 64% of the time, but Bob, against Chicago in that big Game 2 win, they threw it 74% of the time. I expect to see the same today. They like to throw it against especially the secondary of Chicago. Maddox fired McCullough into the backfield, wide open down to the 42 of Chicago before Aaron Humphrey brought him down a gain of 13.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will never, and I've said this just about every week, and I will never stop being amazed by how the wide receivers in this league go out, and they not only do they get into people's ways, but they block. They get in people's faces, they stay with them, and they keep some room, give these receivers some open running room.
Both teams feature guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield, and McCullough and Avery.
I'm going.
48! Now it's Copeland in motion. First carry of the day. McCullough squeaking down to the 36, a gain of 4 yards for Saladin McCullough, who grew up near Pasadena.
Well, one of the things that happened the first time they meet, one of the things that was happening with Chicago early was that they were giving up the big plays. They're coming with a lot of blitzes. They were trying to make things happen. So good quarterbacks will pick you apart when you're doing that, and the big plays were happening. Now you'll see them. A lot of their coverage guys, especially the safeties, sitting relatively deep, allowing the underneath stuff, but you still got to be able to react up and make the play on the underneath passes.
McCullough again fighting his way through. He's not a big guy at 195, but he's tough. They've had another tough customer in Aaron Humphrey, who was third on the team in tackles this year. A gain of 6, and the chains move again for Los Angeles. 7-3, the highest scoring team in the XFL.
30, cover 2, 600, ready?
Well, it's been a heck of a first drive for the Extreme. They get the good field position right off the bat.
Go! 48! Look at the receiver motion with Copeland. 48! There he goes again. Maddox looking his way. Smart, heady quarterback. Takes what he has, and McCullough over the middle. Another gain of about 4.
And you want to know something? Sometimes that's the best way to use Jermaine Copeland and Darnell McDonald. You know, these guys got the speed to get downfield and make the big play. Line them up in trips to the right. And then double a short pass off to the back out of the backfield and pick up 8 yards.
One thing Chicago has done since that week 2 loss where they gave up 39 in double overtime. They changed their defense. They were a blitzing, attacking defense. Yeah. Now they'll give you the little stuff, let you nitpick, but try to hold you out of the end zone. Giving up just 11 points a game last 4 games. He's looking end zone, and he's got it. And watch this celebration.
Looked like Jason Bray got turned around in coverage.
Yes, he's back. 26-yard touchdown play to Jermaine Copeland, who had 5 touchdowns in the regular season.
And we'll talk more about this play, the touchdown, but remember, playoff rules, new rule, 1 yard line for the extra point. 1 yard line, you go if you're going to get 1 point. If you want to try from the 5 yard line, you will get 2 points if you're successful. If you want to place the ball on the 10 yard line, you're going for 3 points. LA obviously taking traditional 1.
Last night, 3 out of 5 from the 1 yard line, but great play by Humphrey, who made 3 tackles on that drive. And McCullough is stopped. So it is a 6-0 advantage for the Extreme early on. Big start for Tommy Maddox, as advertised to Copeland, and the Extreme off first class. Well, Jermaine Copeland wearing that big smile for L.A. A 26-yard touchdown on a 60-yard opening drive for L.A.
No doubt about it. It was a perfect drive. That's what we expected. We told you about this LA team, how they put it, how they move it down the field. That's exactly what was textbook for them.
Tommy Maddox led the league with 18 touchdown passes in the regular season, and the only player to start all 10 games at quarterback for any team. Got great protection, used a little stuff, and then he hit the nice pass to Copeland, landing for 26 yards. Corey Ivy taking it at the goal line, finding room at the 20. Ivy runs out of room at the 29 for Chicago. Ron Carpenter ran him out.
All right, let's take a look. It's a play action pass. You're going to see the linebackers freeze up. Right about here, they freeze. They don't drop back into coverage. Right there, a zone between the safeties opens up right there. Copeland right in the middle. Wide open before the safeties can collapse on him. He makes the dive into the end zone.
Fooled Jason Bray along the way to get in.
Poor Bray just got his
biting early.
Turned the wrong way and just couldn't keep up with it.
And Copeland got his hips going with the dance afterward too. McDougal firing behind the receiver Aaron Bailey, the top wideout for Chicago. Incomplete.
It'll be 2nd and 10 there. Game number 2 of the Devils-Canes series going this afternoon, and the defending champions looking like just that. Big hit there by Scott Stevens on Shane. What you talking about, Willis? I'm talking about a 2-0 Devils win. Martin Brodeur, 18 saves for his 9th career playoff. Shadow to look at John Avery as it's 2nd down and 10 and forces.
60-yard runs, and he said it earlier the week, and L.A. found out about it, and he's trying to scramble there with a hamstring, getting across the 30 to about the 34. However, he's recovering. He told me before the game he's about 85-90% now, looking pretty good, despite the hamstring injury suffered a couple of weeks back.
Well, you know, hamstrings they're tricky. Not only can they linger, but you end up getting scar tissue building up, which can make it a little bit tight, and maybe not have you stretch it out enough. But to be, he won't be careful tonight. That is a sure thing, because he knows everything's on the table for him.
3rd down and 3.
Green 99
for Chicago.
Green 99.
Google trying to get him to run offside. Fires complete to Armstrong. Junior Lord right near the first down. May have been knocked right in front of the first down. He didn't quite get the yardage he needed there in that short 3rd down play.
You know how many times you want to say it? You know, if you need 8, go 8. If you need 7, go 7. It just doesn't work out that way.
It's almost hard when you only need 3.
Yeah. Well, if Armstrong
go 2.
Exactly. I mean, if Armstrong could have kept his footing, perhaps he could have leaned into it and got the first down, but he had to go up high for that ball.
So Andy Crossland will go back to punt for Chicago. Crossland 6th in the league punting, average near 37 a game. The ball live at the 41-yard line of Los Angeles. Live ball at the 41.
Kelly.
Ron Meyer disappointed with the start for Chicago. But man, he has kept been the glue really to keep it together after the 0-4 start and 1-5 after 6 weeks. Veteran coach has been a winner everywhere he's been. SMU 10-1, 2-time AFC Coach of the Year with the Patriots and the Colts. Crossland. Damon Gibson, best punt returner in the league at the 27. Gibson flashes out to the 35. Matt Pincus made the stop. Our score, Los Angeles, is 6-0 Extreme as we pause for a timeout. This look at Mario Bailey of the Orlando Rage, a great example of the U.S. Army's victories in life.
It's always been a problem when people look at me. Just by looking at me, they assume, you know, I'm not a big guy, I'm not tall. So they assume that, well, he's not a football player. You know, I have a hard time getting past security at the games. They question me and want to see my ID and don't think I'm a player. They always want to see the big receivers. When I was coming out, small receivers start disappearing. You start having guys like Terrell Owens, who's like 6'5", 215. There's basketball players out there. It's scarce for a guy my size, so you have to make plays. I pride myself on just being able to make plays. So, you know, like I said, I have to work hard. That's been all my life.
32 thriller, won by L.A. in double overtime. Maddox a perfect 4 for 4 so far, giving to McCullough. Oh, taken down by Larry Fitzpatrick, the right end. Big tackle by Larry Fitzpatrick. That game was an unbelievable game. Chicago looking back and still shaking their heads at it, Bob. They led by 12 with just 12 minutes to go. It went to overtime. L.A. responding, scoring with 29 seconds left to force the overtime and then pulling it out in double OT.
And I'll tell you what, some of the most violent hitting I've ever seen, especially the McDonald shot he took in the end zone.
Corey Ivy, perhaps the hit of the year. If you could register, fired up the middle. Copeland dropped it. He got it off his own head. He juggled it twice like a circus act before Dorian Brew took him down, but that time they didn't get the big hit on Jermaine Copeland, and he was able to refocus.
That's right. Well, basically the same play as the touchdown pass. He breaks it down inside because there's a kind of a quick slant inside. Good job of juggling the ball, keeping it. Same play. He knows how to find the open spot.
Well, Al Luganville was telling us this week that he likes the way Chicago covers the out play, and they're using, obviously, the ground over the middle to attack the enforcer defense. Copeland having a hot game in motion again. Play action, Maddox. He's looking at Copeland. He fires over his head. Pretty good coverage by Jamie Baisley on him that time.
And you see why Maddox has played every single game in the XFL. He never gets hit. Good protection from his guys. Now, it's interesting watching the Chicago defense. They started the season as a very hard blitzing 3-4 defense. 3 linemen, 4 linebackers. Lately, in their successful times, they've gone to a 4-man front. Kind of you going more towards the strength of their personnel. This is how much they respect Maddox. They're going to a dime defense, only rushing 3 defensive linemen. They've got 2 linebackers and 6 defensive backs trying to cover the talent that L.A. has at wide receiver.
McCullough's got a big hole, and he's tackled at the 33, and that was a saver by Dorian Brew, a gain of 7.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I have been in that situation, being a lineman in a nickel situation where you only got 3 guys rushing up front. It is ugly. You got 3 guys rushing against 5 offensive linemen. Or if they decide to run the ball like they just did, that's 5-on-3, man. It's tough to get it, and it's tough to get help from anybody behind you because they're all looking so hard at the pass play.
Well, you got to pick your poison, I guess, Bob.
Yep.
And that's what they've picked. It's worked. With 15 interceptions leading the league, particularly late. They've given up, like we said, only 11 points in the last 4 games on the average. That time, we'll get flags.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense number 8. 5-yard penalty, it's still 3rd down.
So they did not get the snap off. It'll bring up 3rd and longer now, 3rd and 8.
Great play by the enforcers to lull them into that. About the only thing that went good for them so far. But I'll tell you what, if the enforcers are going to do anything, they've got to get that defense straightened up. They've got to go back, get 4 guys up front. They've got to pass rush. They've got to bring some people. And they've got to take some chances, or Maddox is going to have all day long to pass the ball.
McCullough in motion. Maddox looking on 3rd and 8 to McCullough. He didn't tackle him. He got away for the first down.
Jamie Baisley with a great play, a linebacker. I think he felt like he had a piece of that ball.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
But Saladin McCullough, what a great job of staying focused. Both guys in kind of in a jump ball there. Watch Baisley here. Reaction after his goal. He thinks he had a piece of it. Oh, McCullough had it all the way.
Looked like he was going for the ball instead of wrapping him up, Bob.
Go! Exactly. Well, sometimes you go to make the play on the ball if you think you have the time. But now, this early, you got to stop him. You got to stop the first down.
Especially with a guy that can wiggle like this guy. Saladin McCullough rushing for yet another first down for Los Angeles. And this has been a throwback for Chicago that they did not want to see to early in the season. Gain of 12.
Let's go. They get in the end zone. Let's go. They get in the end zone. Oh, baby. Tighten up. Let's go. Here we go. Sundown. Hawk cover 2. Ready?
Just going
right.
Just going base
alert
cover 2.
Alert bolt. A-gap, right?
Putting the safeties deep in the center, letting them help out.
Bobby, 48. 5-3. 48.
Wilcox in motion to the right. Copeland's got it in the flat. And Chicago recovers. Dorian Brew. break for the Chicago Enforcers as the D does what it does best, forcing turnovers.
Well, they've been saying that this defense bends and doesn't break. It actually broke a little bit early, but it's they're able to knock it loose themselves this time. Watch here, good reaction coming back to make a play. Ball comes loose, at least good consistent pursuit by that defense.
It was Jason Gray from behind who forced the fumble, and that is a huge play.
Huge play.
Down at the 10. A monster play for the product from Auburn, Jason Gray. And flags right at the snap.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, it's still first down.
False start on Benny Anderson. Here we go. Right guard. Here we go.
No doubt about it. These guys have to regroup here. Mentally, they're in a quandary. And they defensively, they don't know which defenses to run. Offensively, obviously, these guys are so anxious to try and make something done that they're not even paying attention to the snap count.
That shows you the turnaround is directly a result of the turnover situation. They forced just 4 in the first 4 weeks. Since then, a plus 11, make it plus 12. Avery, nothing doing there. Chad McGee among the extreme defenders, in on Avery quickly.
Man, they came in and just stoned him. Watch these guys coming in, no lack of hitting here.
Don't take him enough. I guess if you're going to get to John, you want to get him real quickly before he really gets the legs churning.
Well, one of the things you find with Avery is, he's going to take a little time. He's going to stutter step a little to read the hole. Then he's going to accelerate. If you can get to him before the acceleration, big advantage.
Green 88.
2nd and 17.
Green 88.
McDougal is going to be backed up in the end zone here. Leverson in motion to the right. McDougal firing end zone. Oh, off the hand of Leverson. The man that was in motion, Jeff Russell, in the coverage, and they had an opening there, but could not connect.
Well, it will be 3rd and 17 for the Enforcers. The Leafs and Sens have their first off day today, and with the Buds leading the Battle of Ontario 2-0, Daniel Alfredson has a unique twist on the rest of this series.
Well, the pressure's on them. I think we've been a good team all year, bouncing back from not our best performances. We played pretty good these 2 games. Couldn't find a way to score, but we've been able to bounce back all year, and we were going to try to do it again.
3rd and long. You don't want to make the miscue here. McDougal firing Avery. Avery's got some room at the 20. John Avery got up to about the 22. And he got the first down.
That's exactly like I was just saying. You got to convince these guys that it's not about scoring right now. It's a long game. They got a lot of time ahead of them. They've got the talent with McDougal and with Avery to do the same thing the Extreme do, which is drop off the short passes, let Avery do the work. If you can get Avery in space, we've seen this. Man, this guy can just make any number of people miss. This is one of the most embarrassing things for a defensive lineman. A guy like that makes you miss 2 or 3 times in one play.
Fortunately for McDougal, he didn't pull the Pat Barnes from last night when Barnes pressured through the pass deep in his end zone. It turned out to be a touchdown for Orlando.
Here we go again.
There's Avery in the open field, and he gets just a couple that time. He's stopped by Eric Johnson.
Well, Craig, remember, it's not like the Extreme aren't expecting a little reception, a couple of receptions from Avery. The last time these 2 teams played, John Avery had 53 yards running, 84 yards receiving, so he definitely made a big impact in the passing game.
And he had a touchdown receiving in the overtime. That gave Chicago the early lead.
So Green,
they then converted, so L.A. not only had to score the touchdown in overtime, but the conversion too, to tie it up. McDougal now handing off. It's LaShawn Johnson. Good change of pace running back. And he gets up to the 40-yard line, chugging along before Ron Carpenter stopped him, a gain of 15.
Remember I was telling you about how with John Avery, you got to get to him before he starts to accelerate because he takes a little time to stutter step and to read. The offensive lineman, McDougal, everybody told me with LaShawn Johnson is different. You hand the ball off, and if you're an offensive lineman, you lock into your guy, you push, and then you get your butt out of the way because you know this guy's coming through full speed ahead.
Great story, overcome lymphoma in '98, missed an entire year. And he's back and chugging along hard for the Enforcers. McDougal, lots of time. He's going to run. McDougal gets to midfield, and he takes down the DB as he crossed into extreme territory before Lamont Evans made the stop. Lamont, the new daddy. Lovely Sierra, born yesterday in Columbia, South Carolina. And Lamont talked to the coaches. They were going to allow him to go, but he ended up staying here, felt he would miss the game, and says, I got a great wife.
Oh, that kid's going to be around for a long time.
We'll catch up with Lamont.
Great
the
job.
game. Very proud dad. Of course, obviously torn with the issue. Sierra, 6 pounds and 15 ounces. On the delayed draw this time, they got Avery in the backfield, and again, they got to him quickly.
Jeff Russell.
To round out the first quarter, Jeff Russell got to him.
Russell's guy that likes to come after. He comes off the corner. Sad thing is that everybody saw him leaning, and nobody stopped him.
A quarter Chicago hopes is like their season. Slow start, better finish. We'll see. The semifinals, 1 done in L.A.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Jerry there?
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
Someday, I'll be a knight.
I won't spend the rest of my life as nothing.
William Thatcher didn't make the rules.
You have to be of noble birth to compete.
He was born to break them.
Welcome to the new world. I've waited my whole life for this moment.
A Knight's Tale. Sneak preview May 5th, opens May 11th.
Allegiances have been compromised. Bonds broken. Now, a fury swells. A wrath will be unleashed. The backlash, cold as stone. For those unfortunate few, payback's a bit.
Catch WWF pay-per-views at select Famous Players theaters. Pick up your advance tickets at the box office. Log on to famousplayers.com for more information.
The great thing about the new Rio from Kia is that you can get everything you want in a car and still have money left over for that other stuff, like food and clothing and shelter. The new Rio from Kia. Lease from $189 a month. It's about time everyone had a well-made car.
This quarter of Smash Mouth XFL football has been brought to you by Kia. It's about time everyone had a well-made car.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. The L.A. Extreme running back duo of Rashawn Sheehy and Saladin McCullough combined for 155 yards rushing in a 24-0 win over the Demons. McCullough had 73 yards and a TD in less than 2 quarters before being injured. Sheehy had 92 yards in relief. That was the Burger King XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
Well, Saladin McCullough off to a good start, both rushing and receiving, and really no surprise because between these two teams, Bob, they share the Offensive Player of the Week honors 7 of the 10 weeks this season.
Nice. Of course, it's great these two teams meeting. You know, you've got 2 quarterbacks that can move and can throw the ball, and 2 running backs that can both run and receive. So it's a very balanced offense once they both get settled in.
Chicago has finally caught their breath after the slow start. 8th play of the drive started on their own 10. McDougal faking the little pump. Oh, look out! Intercepted! Great catch by Reggie Durden. He gets up, nobody got him. And Durden gets back near midfield. Nice attempt by Reggie Durden on a pass that looked to be underthrown, but not a real good adjustment by the receiver on the play, Aaron Bailey.
49.
That ball was lofted up. Just about the time the ball was thrown, Bailey tried to make a break around Durden. Durden just read it all the way. Durden did nothing except watch the quarterback, watch the ball, had himself in perfect position to get up and make a catch. Hey, anytime a defensive back goes up and catches the ball and looks like a wide receiver, he's doing a pretty good job.
Looks like Willie Mays. I think you gotta hand it to Reginald Durden.
48.
Out of Florida State, 24 years of age, and the fastest player on the team, a 4.3 runner. McCullough, he can fly. Gets across the 45, flag down as he got to the 42, gain of 8. Steve Payman talking it over.
Defense, 5-yard face mask from the end of the run. From the end of the run. Face mask.
Unintentional. So a 5-yard tackle.
Face mask. Defense number 31. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run.
You can catch it right at the end. You're going to see a hand going on the mask. Lets it go. Unintentional, but yet they make sure these guys' necks are protected by not grabbing on that face mask.
Al Luganbill done a great job here after spending the last 6 years in NFL Europe. And one of the things Holly Maddox feels the strength of the coach is really analyzing all the talent over there, putting this team together and making the pieces work.
48.
Maddox. On the delay to McCullough. McCullough in the open field, and he dives ahead near the 20. Dorian Brew finally stopped him after a gain of 17 for the guy who has 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games. Flag down though on the play.
Yeah, it's going back on that one. Nice run, but you know, you'd love to say, hey, great run by a running back. I have a number. But if the guy's holding,
I've got defense.
Oh, they're defensive holding.
First, right? Defensive holding. Right. What was the result of the play? Pardon me? What was the result of the play? Where is the result of the play? Down there.
Decline this with 17-yard pickup.
From there.
Open after.
Yeah. Very interesting defensive holding call.
When did it come as well?
Holding, defense. 5 yards added to the end of the run. Result, first down.
Insult to injury there for Chicago.
That was the look you saw on Ron Meyer's face.
How can he call that? He tackled it. I tell you, Al Luganbill told me he was crooked. He told me he was crooked.
Well, they tack on the 5. They're all the way down to the 15-yard line. Go! Maddox on the quick snap call to McCullough, again skipping away. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. He did avoid the loss before Aaron Humphrey brought him down.
Yeah, good reaction back on that, but you know, Chicago's just messing around so much with their defense now. They're ending up, Craig, in a lot of situations where they've only got 5 guys in the box.
Go, listen up. Hawk,
3 linemen, 2 linebackers, 4 linemen, 1 linebacker in between the tackles. You got that kind of guys in there, unless you have good pursuit people, they're going to eat you alive in the run. So far, LA's averaging almost 7.5 yards a carry on the ground.
Extreme have been a passing team, especially in week 2, but no longer. They've got the great running attack with McCullough now. McCullough skipping, gets free, and again, gains about a yard or 2.
You look at them and they give up a lot of yardage. They don't give up a lot of points because they're really good inside the red zone, but they kind of play, you know, a bend, don't break, we're not going to give up the big play type of defense. And guys that do that are willing to give up the yardage as long as they don't give up the points. So the thing that we've got to do is be patient and move the ball on them. And when we get down there, we've got to score touchdowns.
They're down there right now, down to the 14. And Bob, this has been the MO anyway in this stream this year, to take the little short nibbles.
48!
Yep, get the first downs, move the stakes.
Maddox faking, now goes right back to McCullough. Nice play. The throwback to the running back. And he got
good awareness.
13, not going to be enough, however.
Yeah, good play, though. Hey, Jamie Baisley.
LAX, well, earlier today, the Toronto Blue Jays closing out their set with the Kansas City Royals and KC. Well, they scored 4 runs in the first inning, and that was enough as they just get 2 runs, the Jays off Blake Stein. Let's go back to Tommy Maddox as the Jays lose it 4-2. 4th down for the LAX.
Kicker in the XFL, he's at 10 out of 11, 18 of his last 20. Jose Cortez fires the field goal, no surprise, he's got it. Jose Cortez from 31 And the Extreme lead extended to 9 early in the second.
Want to play rough? Huh? Want to play rough? That's okay. We'll get you out.
Avery, he's probably the most excited back in the league, one of the top players in the league.
He's a threat, you know, he's that guy that you just got to stay on him because, you know, he'll get 1, 2 yard carry and then bang like that. There goes 50, 60, 70 yards.
Well, the problem with Avery is that he's scary every time he touches the ball just because he'll take it where no man goeth, I guess you would say, and make something out of it.
Didn't know Al Luganville was a Shakespeare guy.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say goeth. Would you say goeth?
No.
It's go time.
But John Avery, that might describe him because he does.
Yeah. Well, you heard
race by you.
You heard him say, you know, there's still time. Well, yeah, there's still a lot of time left, and as we're just getting into the second quarter, but just 9 points doesn't mean much right now with the new extra point rules.
Ivy at the 20. Oh, he's taken down hard at the 25-yard line. Rico Mack hit him like a Mack truck there and knocked him down at the 25. Big hit by Rico Mack. Mack led them in tackles last week with 9. Watch this.
I'll tell you what, at 6'4", 250 pounds, you're not going to wiggle. You're not going to make the little wiggle moves with a small return guy. But if you get the angle on him and he doesn't really see you, man, it's a sweet feeling. Hey, when you're that big, you get tired of hitting 300-pound linebackers.
You missed that? You missed that?
Green 88.
Bailey in motion. McDougal goes the other way to Tyke Armstrong. And a gain of 8 yards in the play.
Look, that might have been tipped to the line of scrimmage, but it gets out there. And, you know, the one thing that Chicago has to do, we saw what they could do before the interception by Durden. The thing that we saw them doing is they were biding their time. They were taking their time. They weren't panicking. They went back to a game plan instead of just going, third down, we got to pass.
Up left, 8 press, first down. Ready?
Right call.
Kevin McDougal has won 5 of his 6 starts since coming on out of Notre Dame. Led the Irish to an 11-1 record in '93. And out to Avery. Nothing doing there.
There you go. Good job, Chad. Good job, Chad.
Bring up a 3rd and short now for Chicago.
You know, these guys are just, in a situation like that, it's a matter of winning the trenches. You watch the line of scrimmage and watching how these guys push. The defensive line for the Extreme really controlled it. Got the offensive lineman pushed back up. Avery really had nowhere to cut.
3rd and 2. What do you do now? You running?
I would probably do a short pass out to Avery in the open.
Good thought. Avery running, gets to the 35. It's close. Well, he might be a little bit shy of the first half. Very close. Jamal Duff made the stop. See if they spot it and bring the chains out, or looks like Chicago is conceding here. They're bringing the punting team out.
Green! Punt team!
They didn't get just past the 35-yard line. Well, as we were saying right before the snap, you know, the one thing that really started getting them moving was getting the ball to Avery in space. Certainly they're going to make the play. They're going to play that. They're going to start working for that, putting people on them. But it's going to work once in a while. If you mix it in nice, disguise it, it's going to get you some yardage and it's going to get you first down.
Ball live at the Chicago 41. The fake is on. It's Charles Wiley getting it, and he's got the first down. Charles Wiley, who scored a touchdown early. Kerry Cook's actually on the fake there, and a big first down for Chicago.
Nice call. Nice call, Coach.
Actually, it looked like they were running, in that fake, they were running an option. It was snapped right here. They can snap right here to Wiley. He takes the ball. If he can stop right now, he would have pitched it back to the punter if he was not getting any yardage. The punter trailing behind is the pitchman. Nicely laid out.
Great play, but the big thing is now to capitalize and make it work instead of just chew up time. And John Avery gets 7 yards right.
Nice little run by John Avery, and a nice little run by a guy named Barry Bonds. Yes, his quest for 500 home runs continued today against the Brewers. And Barry, you down with OFP? Yeah, you know me. A little opposite field power for home run number 499. The Brewers win it 7-4, but Barry just one away from 500. Let's get back to the Enforcers offense.
A little fake going on here. Who's got it? It's Avery up to the 40-yard line. Hard to figure out who got that one, and a 13-yard gain for John Avery, mixing up the extreme defense as well.
Well, we heard Ghost tagged at the end. I guess Ghost means that kind of invisible guy that's not really the reverse man coming around. But you saw it given to Avery up in front. Everything else going around. Hey, if John Avery's going to get the ball, you better pay attention to him. I don't care who else is out there. Looks like they might get a handoff. Avery's your primary man. You got to hit him and you got to drag him down.
LaShawn Johnson is now in. The Enforcer running backs actually changed by themselves. When Avery wants to come out, he comes out. McDougal looking, lots of time again. Fires wide open is Bailey. And he's got the first down at the 27 of L.A. A gain of 12, and Chicago's got a cooking off the fake punt.
Yep. Exactly. Coming off the fake punt, they've walked back to that game plan that they got coming back that last time they had the ball, moving it down, mixing things up. That was just a nice play. Durden got, I don't want to say Durden got beat, but when Bailey came back for the ball, as time kind of was eaten up, Bailey came back. Durden just didn't stay with him.
Meyer was telling us that the running backs actually take themselves out. Have you ever seen that before? John Avery will take himself out. It's not a coach decision.
Like you said, Avery's the #1 guy, so he gets to come out when he wants and go back in when he wants.
Here's Johnson, a little play action. McDougal's going to try and fire. Over the middle, got a receiver, Leverson! And Leverson's down to the 4-yard line. Ron Carpenter, a pair of twos in that play, making the tackle, a big play by Leverson, who came alive in week 6 and has been a big receiver since then.
You know, coming in, any team that plays these guys knows that they're a good pass rushing football team, that this defensive line and linebackers can get pressure on you. What you've been seeing Chicago doing once they've settled down, they're doing a lot of like little sprint outs, play actions, short boosts, things like that to make the pass rush just a little bit off kilter and take the aggressiveness away from them.
Leverson did not have a catch till mid-season. He finished with 14 and a couple of touchdowns. Look out. Flag thrown.
Defense.
Stallings wound up in the backfield. He's trying to get into that
snap.
running back rotation.
Defense number 97. Half the distance to the goal. It's still first down.
If Avery could take himself out, LaShawn, maybe Stallings could get in the mix. Penalty on Romano, half the distance, brings it down to the 2.
Jump across.
Ready?
All right.
Johnson is the tailback. He's a bruiser. And he's got the football, but he's stopped for a loss of 2 yards in the play. One long came up from his linebacker position with a good hit on big LaShawn Johnson.
Nice job of scraping. He got up right off tackle and, boy, made the stick. Again, with a guy like LaShawn, don't bounce it outside, man. Don't go off tackle. A guy of LaShawn's size gets his, if he doesn't have his shoulders turned north and south,
all right, let's go.
He's not going to get yardage.
Check quick, belly on 1.
Johnson actually had 4 rushing touchdowns at Avery this year. He had 6. So they've got a lot of touchdown ability. Johnson is in there. After the 5 on 2nd down. And again, whistles.
Prior to the snap, delay of game.
Delay of game again.
Number 15, 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Yes, you got 2 downs.
That'll bring him back to the 9-yard line now.
Go ahead.
Rex trips left. Quick, 222.
Let's go.
Well, now you got a little more room. You don't have to bang it in, so Avery comes in the line.
Ready? Yeah, Rex, trick left.
Yeah, you get to the 10-yard like this, the defense and the coverage people aren't as complex.
2nd and goal from the 9. Avery in motion. McDougal looking. Not much open. He can run, maybe. Fires now. And it's off the hand of Bailey. Aaron was looking for the call on Ron Carpenter. Looked like pretty good defense, though, for the extreme. 3rd down and goal for the 9.
Yeah, it was all about Carpenter, man. It was just, you could tell he had a nice play because it was so nonchalant. He just kind of stuck the hand in and made the play. You're going to see him You're going to see him crossing the field. He's got all the time in the world.
Run it.
And then they're going to fill. As you throw the ball, you got this lane all wide open right in there.
Blue 22.
Watch, he's waiting.
Blue 22. On the ball, Bob. He had at least 7. McDougal now with pressure fires. That's not going to work. It's caught, but it's going to be a loss of a yard. Bailey on the grab. And a good stop on the LAD, but McDougal really could have raced in. He at least would have got him down to the 2, and if he's shake and bake the guy, he could have had a touchdown run there.
You know, you don't want a guy that's going to take the ball all the time on his own. You want a guy who's going to commit himself to being a throwing quarterback. But you know what? Sometimes, I guess hindsight's easy.
Andy Crossland, 8 for 14 this year, but he did hit 3 field goals last week. He's hit his last 4, this one from 28. And he had to contend, as he pointed out to me yesterday, in the cold weather a lot. The left footer. It's got it. So the field goal is good, and Chicago is on the board and very much in an XFL semifinal from L.A. Back in Los Angeles, thanks to the fake punt, Chicago took advantage of that play, Bob. And how often do you see a nice trick play that works, but the team doesn't take advantage? This time the enforcers scampered downfield, had to settle, but at least they got 3 and they're right back in the game.
Now, you know, we talked about their ability to get it downfield and sometimes be a little bit lax in the red zone. Hey, you know, it happens to a lot of teams. You've got to be able to, the game plan changes inside the 15, 20-yard line because the defense compresses and you can't do the same things.
Well, I'm sure when Kevin McDougal looks at the film this week, he'll see he could have run it just like we did from the high angle. Very easy to see from up here. Rochelle grabs it at the 7. Rochelle is met and good Chicago hitting. That's what they wanted, to make a play. They did. And they'll start at the 20. Well, if you think the XFL is raw action, wait until you see WWF Raw. 2 hours of the edgiest action on TV. Don't miss the #1 show on all of cable television tomorrow night, 9/8 Central on TNN. Tommy Maddox again at the helm. A first quarter 26-yard touchdown to Jermaine Copeland after leading the regular season with 18 touchdown passes. The field goal by Cortez made it 9-0. Crossland back with a 3-pointer of his own. He's going bombs away. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Damon Dunn. He was covered well by Quincy Coleman.
Quincy Coleman in coverage. He's laid it right out there.
You know, Bob, talking to Tommy Maddox this week, he actually gave up football after a stint in the NFL. Left early.
So Maddox can't find Dunn. Will be second down. Game 2 of the Devils and Canes went this afternoon. The defending champs look like just that. Alexander McGillney's first period goal would hold up as Martin Brodeur makes just 18 saves for his 9th career playoff shutout. Devils win it 2-0, and that's exactly what they're up in the series. 2-0. So the Devils looking good. And Maddox on a scramble.
Not on that particular play, as he's run down after a gain of 1 from behind by Matt Pincus. But he said one of his friends called him and said, "Hey, the NFL only offered me $850." He said, "Do you realize what you're saying?" And he said, "I was one of those guys too."
Yeah.
He said, "But until I got life without football, I realized what it means to me now." Tommy Maddox right now leading the extreme. He hopes for the $1 million game. Vinny, along with Bob Golick, Chris Raggi, and Kip Lewis, and the entire crew. Pleasure to be bringing you the XFL semifinal here on UPN tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about Tommy Maddox before we went to break there, and the last play, the long bomb. Hey, he's a smart guy too. Chicago came with a blitz for the first time today. Guess what? Tried to take advantage of a little one-on-one matchup.
They've only given up 14 sacks all year, and he's got that quick drop, quick release, and there it is right there. Target, receiver. Yes, Copeland did not come up with it.
Who got me?
Jason Brayman, a good hit on Copeland, who tried to reel it in.
I'll tell you what,
he almost did. Let's see.
They came with a blitz again, the right side of the screen. Right there. Now, we told you how much this is all about field position. Looks like they're set up for the return. You never know.
Noel Prefontaine, one of the best punters in the league. They got it! Cheeky Egbunue. And the block by Kibuasmo Mays. A big play again. Special teams doing it.
They kind of lulled them. You see that? Chicago's defense lulled them into a false sense of security. They had about 4 guys down in stances. About 3 other guys kind of loitering. The last second, man, they all came.
That was pretty easy, too, for Cheeky Egbunue. A big play for the Dallas, Texas native Cheeky Egbunue.
And if you remember, that happened in week 2 also, the last time these two teams met.
Running for the extra point, LaShawn Johnson falls down. Did the ball get over? Yes.
Touchdown.
The extra point for LaShawn Johnson.
Week 2. We saw the told you it's one of the big games.
Charles Wiley blocked that one. And Brian Rogers, a linebacker who was later released, ran it in. So another big play. And all of a sudden, it's the Enforcers on top. Well, the Easter Bunny had a lot of chocolate today, so he is naturally excited. Although his extreme now.
Extremely hyper.
Yes. Down 10-9 now. Damon Gibson is back. Andy Crossland not booted quite as far as Cortez. They've been coming up a little short. That time, pretty good one. Gibson at the 5.
Good wall.
Oh, look out! He slipped! And he got still to the 37, and he clearly entered by all of the Enforcers. Well, folks, the big premiere is in just 2 days. Chains of Love. Yes, the show where one person is chained to 4 hot members of the opposite sex, 24 hours for 4 days. Premieres this Tuesday. That's Chains of Love at 8/7 Central this Tuesday, right here on UPN. You on that show, Bob?
No, but I'm just wondering when we get our chains off. I mean, it's been, what, 10, 11 weeks now?
You have to talk to law enforcement to get those ankle chains in.
48!
Oh, is that what the police are back there?
Yeah, that's right. Minute and a half to go. Maddox to take the little dump off to McCullough. Then he'll gain some yardage down to the 43.
I'll tell you what, Damon Gibson broke through that first group of tacklers so quick on that kickoff return. To see him, he tried to change direction, almost went right backwards again.
We talked about momentum earlier, and certainly Chicago has taken it away with a couple of big plays. McCullough, though, in the flat, and to the extreme, trying to get some scoring back, getting to the 45 of Chicago. It's a gain of 12 first down.
It's all about the emotion. Right now, Extreme and Al Luganville, telling his guys, you know, these guys are fired up. They're leading now, 10-9. You know, they get, after a big play like that, the emotion, the momentum, like you said, swings the other way. You know, we just do the same thing we do. And boy, if it isn't the same thing, they just went out there and they're just playing their game, man.
Sunday. Load it. Nobody did. Hey, we have no timeout. Tell me. Lotus.
In to out.
LA has the 3 timeouts left with a minute 5 to go. Clock still running. Inside a minute. Maddox looking for the short pass off the hands. It's deflected and it's incomplete. So the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go. Kerry Cooks on the coverage. Coming up in the half here from Los Angeles, we'll look at the XFL.com fan picks, best finishes of the year. And we'll recap the San Francisco-Orlando game. Wild one last night at the Citrus Bowl. And how pumped do you think, Bob, these two teams were to see San Francisco come back, because the winner of this game today will host the $1 million game. So get ready, fans in Chicago, and certainly in Southern Cal. You could be hosting the $1 million game next week. Maddox throws complete to Christopher McDonald. First catch of the day. It's the first down. Clock running. Are they going to call timeout here? They do have time because the spot of the ball.
Deuce, 42.
Stops the clock until the ball is placed.
42.
They're going to
42.
no huddle here.
Sunday.
And Chicago's going back to their old wily ways. They're going back to the blitz, some man-to-man coverage. Somebody just blew it on that one.
Draw play, McCullough. 4 yardage, they'll call time here. As he gets inside the 25, gain of 8. Still 32 seconds to go and 2 timeouts.
Absolutely. What they have done with this drive is put themselves in position to get a field goal and just change the momentum of this game right before halftime.
When you buy a special...
Luganville and Ron Meyer, the respective coaches in this affair.
They rammed the outside guy into Liam on. No, they didn't cross. No. Press him a little bit.
The strategies on the sideline. A live look. Ron Meyer, Al Luganville. Big point here as LA is trying to get at least 3 and take the lead at the half. They're on the 24. They've got 2 timeouts left.
We're listening to Ron Meyer. He keeps talking blitz.
Maddox passing and second and short over the middle, complete. They've got the first down. Copeland. Now the clock will stop until the placement. And they made no huddle here and saved the timeout.
That is amazing. Jason Bray all over his back. Nice throw and catch.
Not going. They use the timeout here. They don't get the first. Complete. And getting out of bounds is Gibson right near the first down. A gain of 4 on the play.
Once again, Jason Bray was in the man-to-man coverage. He came blitzing on those last 2 plays. Jason Bray makes the play in the first one, although it was a completion. That one just totally gets left out in the cold. And Tommy Maddox, that doesn't happen to him very often.
Wait a minute! What do you want?
Fisher making a big hit.
Bob, the clock is a real issue here at 2nd and 1. I mean, they still have their timeouts, but the clock down. How many plays can you get off? I mean, they'll be lucky to
Florida special on 1, right?
Get off 1 more and may have to think about a field goal after this play, yes?
Yeah, depending on that. I mean, if you can get the pass off quickly and find out if it's complete or not, you can get another one in, but you may have to go right for it.
You have to go end zone here. Forget about the run. Maddox looking end zone. Wide open! Touchdown! David Gibson wide open somehow. A terrible defensive play for Chicago on a play like that. Touchdown, LA.
And you know what's sad about that is that LA was telling us that when Corey Ivy gets in the corner, he is so quick at getting into that fade in the corner that they usually have to run a slant instead. Well, that time, no. They beat Corey Ivy into the corner. Nice pass.
They're going to go for the 2-point play here. Just in for the playoffs. This is the first 2-point attempt we have seen. 2-point play. There's the yard marker showing that from the 5-yard line.
48.
This for a 7-point lead. Maddox. Quick pass and throws. He's got it. And there's some history. Darnell McDonald. The first 2-point play in XFL history. And LA has got the comfortable, we think, 7-point lead at least at the half.
Did they have made that look any easier?
Good finish for LA. We'll have a kickoff coming back with 11 seconds left in the half.
I am now.
Well, we're back at the LA Coliseum. A wild second quarter here as the LA Extreme, thanks to Damon Gibson, 7-yard touchdown from Maddox, the 2-point conversion. Maddox is a tidy 14 for 18 for a $143. Big first half for him, 6 for 7 on the drive. And with 11 seconds to go, they didn't have to settle for 3. They get the 7. Chicago may be lucky to have time for 1 play if they're fortunate here after this return. Taken by Wagatua. He gets to the 34-yard line.
Okay, you're going to see Gibson waving. He ends up all alone. Look at him. He's going, hey, throw it to me down the bottom of your screen. Good quicks. And like I said, Corey Ivy out of position. You see him beat him for the corner and the touchdown.
Damon Gibson was not even active for 3 of the first 4 weeks. We've talked about McCullough, but Al Luganville will tell you that it's McCullough and Gibson that have been the spark since about the midpoint of the season. He's been a spark on the punt returns, the kickoff, and you saw him there catching a big ball as Chicago takes the lead to end this first 30 minutes. Good start to the XFL semifinal, 17-10 at the half.
Coach, you got to be happy with that first half. Really, the only disappointment for you guys, that block punt.
Yeah, well, that's a big disappointment because it put them back in the game. But we'll get it straightened out and see if we can't play this last 30 minutes like a bunch of crazed dogs.
Overall, you happy with the way things have gone?
I'm never happy till the end and we win.
Coach, they got you in a little bit of a pickle. You bring everybody at ISOs, your corners. Then again, if you don't give them pressure, Tommy Adolde to throw back there.
Well, Maddox is very good. They got a very sophisticated pass offense, and it just shows you why he's the best quarterback in the league. We try to bring pressure. He handles that. We try to play coverage, and then Copeland runs through our coverage. But we got 30 minutes of football left.
And you have found a weakness, obviously, on the special teams. 2 block punts and 2 efforts against these guys.
Well, we work on that. Hopefully, we can get some more big plays in the special teams.
All right, the Extreme trying to get to the $1 million game. The Enforcers are in their way and very much tough competition on Easter Sunday. It's 17-10, L.A. XFL Playoffs got going last night, now courtesy of Bud Light. Let's take a look at the playoff game between the San Francisco Demons and the Orlando Rage. We're back here at the LA Coliseum. Craig Minervini upstairs with Big Bob Golick. Wild game last night. How many people watching thought, that's it, Orlando 16-0, less than 7 minutes into the game, and San Francisco, a 5-5 team that really was up and down all year. Right. Man, they played great to finish that game.
You know, they really towards the end, they found some strength in their quarterbacks, but then again, these strong quarterbacks started to get nicked, and so you're never really sure how healthy they were. You saw last night, there was a lot of turnovers in that game, 4 for San Fran, 5 for Orlando, so you get a game like that, boy, you can always tell that it's going to take it to the end.
Big decision now for Jim Skipper. Does he go with Pat Barnes or does he go with his starter most of the year, who has been a little banged up, in Mike Pawlowski?
You know, it's a tough call. I mean, Barnes, we've seen him go in, and when he has gone in there and played, he's played well, but Pawlowski seems to be the guy that's the leader. He seems to be the one that has the natural leadership ability for that team. I try to get him as healthy as possible. Start with him, stay with him, and then go to Barnes if you have to.
Well, a great finish last night. San Francisco knows they will be on the road. Will they be in L.A. next week for the $1 million game, or will they be in Chicago? Well, the Enforcers down there hoping to talk about something to lead them to a second-half victory. We'll look at some of the great finishes from the regular season in the XFL when we come back. Watching the XFL on UPN. It's 17-10 at the half.
They're going to keep running. This smash mouth.
Well, last week we told you about XFL.com fan picks. This gives our fans a chance to vote for the best offensive and defensive player of the year, the best hit, best all-access moment of the year in the XFL this season. So many memorable games with down-to-the-wire finishes, incredible comebacks. Again, the LA Extreme leading the Chicago Enforcers 17-10. Bob, I'm going to go with week 2, the other matchup between Chicago and LA. Big early season matchup. Double overtime, the only double overtime game in the league this season, and LA pulled it out, and they had to answer a couple of times, and then Chicago needed to score in 3 plays, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, we did a game at one point this season with Las Vegas and Chicago. That was not a pretty nice looking game, but I'll tell you what, I get on XFL.com, and I find it hard not to cheat and vote for a couple of them, but I don't.
Are you going to pick the game you did? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. As for this game, wild start here for Los Angeles and Chicago, and a couple of the big plays certainly were special teams play. But first of all, Tommy Maddox has advertised.
Oh man, Jermaine Copeland right over the middle, beats his man and beats the safeties to the end zone. Back to Copeland again. This guy is just making grabs left and right. Look at this, just juggling, moving the ball down the field, but you got to hold on to the ball. Jason Bray comes back, knocks it loose. Dorian Brew with the recovery.
And a big play here, huh?
Right. Oh, man. This happened in week 2 when these two teams got together. Touchdown off the block punts.
And then LA answers Richard, with just 11 seconds to go in the second quarter. Somehow Damon Gibson saw a matchup he liked against Corey Ivy, and they found him wide open, really inexplicably wide open from 7 yards out when you know they got to go end zone with 11 seconds to go, and it worked out. So LA has bounced back in a game of shifting momentum. They led early 9-0. Chicago took the lead, and now, as you might expect, LA right back on top.
Well, amazing, because it had shifted so dramatically when after the blocked punt for the touchdown, and things had changed in Chicago's way. But then for the LA to come back and stay so calm, just goes to show what kind of team LA has, in the respect that they don't get rattled by much. They've played well all season long. They've been consistent all season long. And sure, I'll tell you what, they kept it together, got their points, got the lead going into halftime.
You want to talk adversity? I'm going to talk Chicago, okay, pal? Because they dealt with 0-4 to start the year. Here's the Miller Genuine Draft halftime stats. 7-point lead. Look at the total yards. Big edge. And keep in mind, Chicago scored all their points in about 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, we knew that this LA team could put up a lot of yardage as well as the points. That's what's happening, but you know, we saw Chicago starting to say, hey, if we can settle it down, we can drive also on offense.
Chicago deferred after winning the opening scramble, so they will get the ball to start off here. And Cortez
season long, and sure, I'll tell you what, they kept it together, got their points, got the lead going.
Dealt with 0-4 to start the year. Here's the Miller Genuine Draft halftime stats. 7-point lead. Look at the total yards. Big edge. And keep in mind, Chicago scored all their points in about 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, we knew that this LA team could put up a lot of yardage as well as the points. That's what's happening, but you know, we saw Chicago starting to say, hey, if we can settle it down, we can drive also on offense.
Chicago deferred after winning the opening scramble, so they will get the ball to start off here. Cortez been knocking them deep, but this one is short. Ivy at the 10. Corey off to the 30. Finds a little room. Not the explosive return man like Gibson, but he gets a nice return. And they'll start off in good shape at the 37.
Yeah, explosive or not, you get out to almost the 40-yard line, and it's a heck of a start. Well, you see Kevin McDougal, the heart and soul. Well, the guy that throws the ball anyway, John Avery, probably the heart and soul. Only 62 yards passing. You know, they've been sporadic early on. They didn't show any kind of consistency.
Up left, Charlie, 985 on one. Ready?
I know why you said that, Bob.
Why is that?
Because he went to Notre Dame.
Ah, well.
And you see Notre Dame, and right away,
he's the leader.
He's the man, right?
Well, you know,
he has been that.
If he can get the ball to Avery out in open space, they're going to have some more success.
Junior Lord in motion. McDougal looking that way lots of time. Then gets hit. He throws off the hands of Avery. Incomplete. John should have pulled that one in. Rico Mack the coverage.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what, that took a long time to develop. Kevin McDougal sat back, waiting. He felt the pressure coming.
I still got to catch that.
We haven't seen the quarterbacks take too many hits in this game.
No. But I'll tell you, this is exactly what I said. Get it to Avery in open space. The ball thrown a little bit behind him. Avery, without a doubt, should have caught that. But, you know, Kevin McDougal, you're going to be a pro quarterback. You got to put it where they can catch it and do something with it.
The equipment guys will be happy don't have to wash the quarterbacks' jerseys here today. After a year of watching quarterbacks get shellacked left and right, these guys have been doing all right avoiding the oncoming defensive line. John Avery there on the hand up, gain of 7. A good hand pick up there for Avery as he got to the 40, about 5-yard line.
Yeah, we saw that play before where they give it to Avery up inside and then fake the reverse. Nobody buys the reverse, not when Avery's got the ball.
Trip left scan.
3rd down and 4.
Ready? Look for the hot, AB.
Chicago just 1 out of 4 on 3rd down so far in the game. This year they were 6th in the league at 34%.
Blue 44.
On 3rd down.
Blue 44.
Quick slant, push down play. Aaron Bailey, he can fly. Look out! Aaron Bailey down to the 22. Lamont Evans finally caught up with him, and you could see Bailey's speed as he got it and just took off.
I think he felt like he was going to get hit as soon as he caught it, but when he didn't feel the contact, you could just see him kick into that next gear and him start accelerating. Luckily, Evans was there. A lot of room there. Watch all the cushion he has. Set back in a zone, and I'll tell you what, when they're going to hit you with that slant over the middle, he's going to catch it, but you got to react and make the catch or make the hit.
Boy, Al Luganville told us yesterday that Bailey scares him to death. Play action, McDougal confident, going to try and run, good skipping, and he still gets down to the 12-yard line. Juan Long brought him down. You know, Bailey had a big game Bob, in that first meeting, he had a 50-yard catch in the first play against L.A. Same game, a 46-yard touchdown, and the play before the run there, a 35-yard play.
Well, did you see McDougal at the end? He made a nice little move instead of sliding. He had two of the LA defenders hit each other.
He thought he was on that BMX bike there, eluding some of the hills, and
you watch a lot of it.
191! Flat 191! Actually gave it up and turned to football. Sean Johnson cannot get free. Good for Chad Pegues, a loss of 3. Ricky Parker helped on the stop, but Pegues did him first.
Nothing but penetration there by Pegues. I mean, we're not talking about anything fancy at all. No reading the play. Pegues got up in there, got the penetration, and got to LaShawn Johnson before he could get his shoulders turned north and south on the field.
Close it down. Heel, quad right scan, 9W on 1, ready?
Brett Coleman breaking out wide to the right. 4 receivers. Luke Leverson way off the line of scrimmage. He is in motion number 2 on the near side. McDougal with time throwing. Knocked down. Great defensive play. Ricky Parker has been terrific. Moving from safety to cornerback, made the play. They're going to go for the field goal.
Oh, did Parker come in and just nice timing on that? Hey, it's one thing to make the hit, make the guy remember, but just put your hand on the ball. That's good concentration.
Randy Crossland, his best streak of the year, made 3 last week. He's made 5 in a row now after hitting from 28 earlier in the game.
Once again, they have trouble in the red zone. They're going to have to settle for this field goal attempt.
32-yard attempt for left-footed Crossland. Kick up. And the kick is good. So Andy Crossland firing away from 32, and Chicago pulls to within 4. Winner going to the $1 million game.
Oh, we're all right.
Spectacular. No smog for some reason today, Bob. Here in Southern California's Kevin McDougal and the Enforcers have pulled to within 4 on a 70-degree day with a light breeze. Crossing a very short kick. Gibson grabs it near the 20, and he's plastered down around the 28-yard line. Well, you think these guys are having a blast? Wait until you see WWF's.
Looks like we got a good one going on in Chicago. We got a good one also going on in the City of Champions. The Stars and the Oil series tied at 1 apiece. First period action after Eric Brewer couldn't clear. Sergei Zubov will get it at the point, and Zubov will shoot and score. 1-0 Oilers. We've got about 4.5 minutes left in the first period of that one. Let's get back to Tommy Maddox and the extreme offense.
For them, they're going to have to find something.
Saladin McCullough, good gain there up near the 40. You think about the big play was what we showed at halftime when Oakland fumbled as the Extreme were driving in again.
Well, they went out there. They came out this time.
Let's go. Come on.
The Chicago defense came with a 4-man front this time. Still went with dime coverage. 6 defensive backs and Jamie Baisley, a linebacker.
Ready? Pig.
They're still staying in cover 2. They want to keep it safe, keep their safeties free to help out whenever possible.
Playing cover 2, Bob.
48.
2 safeties are going to be deep. They'll be there to help. Of course, in case the corners need anybody crossing on the inside.
McCullough that time cannot wriggle free of Humphrey, but he still gained 5 yards in the play. Keep in mind, the Enforcer defense overall this year was ranked 7th in the league, 8th against the pass, 6th against the rush. But they were a lot better in the second part of the season. They only gave up 11 points.
49 on 1.
Right, we mentioned that to Ron Meyer last night. Last night he was kind of, but he makes a good point. They did play to get better as the season went on. But the thing you just saw there, safeties usually come up and help make some plays in the run game too. With the threat of the deep ball and the passing, a lot of times these guys are hesitating from attacking too much.
McCullough finding room, and L.A. doing what they normally don't do, and that's run more than fast, but they're really taking what they've been given, and they're doing it successfully.
You're not seeing aggressiveness by the linebackers in the secondary of Chicago. They're sitting back. They're afraid they're going to get burnt.
Here we go.
If they see a play-action pass, they've already been hit with play-action pass already.
Jack Swin, Harry, 45 on 2, right?
And what we told you, L.A. normally passes the ball 64% of the time. In the last meeting against Chicago, 74% of the time. Another first and 10. Wilcox in motion. Flags. Not the clock that time.
Crucial. I know you want quick jam me though.
Copeland knows
Prior
that
to the snap,
he is
ball
going to
start, offense, number 76.
Josh Wilcox was in motion coming across. Jermaine Copeland kind of moved back.
Jose Portilla.
He says a Portilla, but when you've got Wilcox in motion, and then Copeland moves also, I don't believe they can do that.
Let's go, Jack's twin left. 48 Tommy on one, right? Left. Good job, D-Mac.
Is that what they call calling your own number?
Go!
Or your own name?
48! 48!
Maddox on the pitch. McCullough has it. Again, finding room. Big hit! But he still kept going as he banged over Kerry Cook. A gain of 10 for Saladin McCullough. Inactive for the first 5 weeks. Came alive in week 6 and proved he's not a one-week wonder.
When you hear somebody say the word the defense is catching, that's what it means. They're sitting back, they're waiting for the people to come to them, and when you got McCullough running down the hill with that with that acceleration, that speed, you don't want to be in his way.
Finished 6th in the XFL in rushing despite being inactive for 4 games. Here he goes again. He's over the 100-yard mark already. He broke out with the first 100-yard rushing game in week 6 against Birmingham, and that's been a big story to LA's success in the latter half of the year. I mean, they had only 1 rushing touchdown from a running back until he came up with 2 in that week 6 win.
That's right. They had some injuries, but so far today, 108 yards rushing, 7.3 yards per carry. Wow.
Rashawn Sheehy has come in to spot McCullough, the starter at the beginning of the year, who comes off a 96-yard effort a week ago. He gets it, and he is dropped by Jason Bray. We talked to Saladin McCullough about his head coach, Al Luganville, giving him the opportunity to play.
They got us.
You know, I had a lot of bad reports coming up, different little things, so I'm mature now, and I know my path and what I want to do in life is play football and, you know, support my children and make my mom happy, get her a house or whatever she wants, you know.
48!
His mom, Mabel, an inspiration as Maddox fires, and it's incomplete. He was going for Darnell McDonald. Pressured there for one of the first times in the game. Corey Ivy on the coverage.
Well, like I said, they've been catching. They've been playing base defenses, not blitzing. We saw them at the end of the first half start to blitz a little bit, but they've gotten away from it. They've been catching. They got it. If they're going to do anything, they've got to attack.
McCullough actually, Bob, fell asleep while being recruited by Al Luganville in his office. That's not a good way to really impress the coach. He wound up going to Oregon. But had not played much. Long field goal attempt here. This one from 48 yards. Cortez slips. Did he still get a net?
Sure.
He did. Wow. Jose Cortez slipped as he made contact with the football, and somehow that ball just kept going and going and going. And he's now hit 20 of his last 22. 48-yard field goal attempt for the best kicker of the XFL. Tying his longest of the year. How about that?
Get in there!
Off the pipe and in.
In the world of compact pickups, only one truck can have the most available power. Only one can offer the most towing. Only one has the biggest standard bed. Only one offers the longest wheelbase. The interesting thing is that all these superlatives can be found on only one truck, Dodge Dakota. Introducing 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas. Dodge Dakota, difference.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Jerry there?
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
I'm Mike Bibby of the Vancouver Grizzlies, and I know the score.
Quiet, please.
Love hurts. Mario Tennis rated E for everyone now on Game Boy Color. Get into it.
The XFL. A return to the smash-mouth roots of football. No dome stadiums, no artificial turf. The players want to get paid, they've got to suit up and play. And with teams called the Outlaws, Demons, Rage, and Hitmen, we can't help but have the coolest damn gear around. Caps, tees, jerseys, all available at select Foot Locker stores. Authentic XFL gear. Get it at Foot Locker today.
This is XFL Sunday Total Football, exclusively on The Score.
Burger King presents the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. New York Hitman corner Joey Elam's intercepted 2 passes against the Bolts in a 22-0 shutout win. One was converted into a score when he lateraled off to Donnie Caldwell, who took it in for a touchdown. Elam's ended the season number 2 in interceptions with 4 overall. That was the Burger King XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
Setting sun here in Los Angeles. Where's the guy with the glasses and the briefcase? Oh, that's baseball, right?
That's
They don't do that in this game?
No. But yeah, it's coming down over
Does
the...
that black actually help out? He has got the black under his eyes.
You know what? I never wore it. I ended up getting it all over my face. But sunset over the west side of the Coliseum, tough. It'll be tough all around. Receivers.
Ivy found the ball, and he's still squeaking free. Got up to the 30-yard line. XFL semifinal weekend. Last night in Orlando, the Rage blew a 16-point lead. The Demons will tell you they roared back to win it, and they did, 26-25, to get to the championship $1 million game next week on NBC at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
And Craig, absolutely amazing. After what Chicago did early in the season, the way they started, how bad they were, that if they win this game, they can host the $1 million game. They will host it.
Unbelievable. And the other thing is how Orlando was the talk of the XFL all season long. Won 8 of their 10. Lost the last game of the season. McDougal firing, and it's caught complete. Did not play well last week in what turned out to be a meaningless game. You wonder if that had any effect as they played. Looking back, San Francisco beat L.A. in week 1 in that last-second field goal by Panasek. And then Los Angeles came back in week 10 with their best effort perhaps of the season, a shutout. In week 7, San Francisco caught a hot Chicago team, and the Enforcers won 25-19.
Make the playoff in L.A. UNBC.
We've told you about San Fran. It's all about the quarterbacks, as it is here.
I'm looking ahead to the matchup as well. Although he's yelling at the referee about something. It's Avery in the backfield. Trying to sprinkle free. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. Sean Stuckey on the stop. Los Angeles Extreme favored by 7 points in this game by the Vegas odds makers, leading by 7 with 4.5 minutes to go. The odds, though, have been against Chicago all year long.
Yeah, you know, one of the things working very well for L.A. today is their defensive front, the linebackers. The run game has really been suspect, just coming out of the backfield for Chicago. Avery, 9 carries, 32 yards, 3.6 per carry. But, you know, a lot of that's coming second effort, and a lot of his yardage is coming on those short dump passes.
Don't forget he led the league with that 5.3 beginning of the season. McDougal downtown, and it's incomplete. Fred Coleman was the intended receiver.
Well, we'll get you back to the action in a second, but the Rangers in action, yes, A-Rod's Rangers, and after 6 RBIs and a winning performance yesterday against the struggling A's, A-Rod back at it. A-Rod, A shot. a home run. A 2-run shot, as a matter of fact. Rangers leading it 3-0 in the bottom of the third. Back to punt.
Chicago Enforcers don't find a defense to stop them. It could get ugly.
Damon Gibson, the most dangerous returner in the league. Good punt there by Crossman. Gibson will angle at the 25. In trouble and taken down by Charles Wiley. A loss of 4 on the return.
Now, courtesy of Bud Light, let's take a look at how the LA Extreme got here. The Extreme battled the San Francisco Demons with the West title on the line. LA dominated in all areas as they ran for a TD. Had a fake field goal for a touchdown. And Jermaine Copeland had a TD catch in a 24-0 shutout.
3:34 remaining third quarter. LA led 9-0 at one point early in the second quarter. Chicago scored 10 unanswered. The block punt, a big play to take a 10-9 lead. 17-10 LA at the half. They've traded field goals here in the third quarter. It's McCullough again. He's on a big rushing day. Cannot wiggle free of the defense there. Hubert Thompson, big nose tackle out of Michigan State, made the play.
A little bit better play up front, but you know we talked to Ron Meyer and the guys coming in. Their defense has gone away from the man, the blitzing, the man coverage, to more zone over the last few weeks. Things have been going better for them, but it's not working against this Extreme team. They've blitzed a couple times. Always a chance of them getting hurt when they blitz, but they've got to get in and hit Tommy. They've got to get in and they've got to hit Saladin McCullough in the backfield. They've got to do something to shake them off their rhythm.
2nd and 9, Maddox passing. McCullough, well played that time.
Nice cover.
Ray Austin, who's started the year as a safety, moves up and plays sort of a linebacker at 181 pounds. Sort of a nickelback linebacker.
Kind of a nickelback monster type of back. Good coverage right there. Comes in, makes the contact just in time. But Chicago did come with a blitz from the weak side on that one, so they are trying to take a couple chances.
LA just 1 out of 4 on third down. And they've got a big third down here. 3rd and 9 in Chicago. I don't remember the last time they forced a 3 and out. They're trying to do that here. He's going to hand off. McCullough, they're going to get him, but a flag late in the backfield. They got him for the loss on the 3rd and 9. Chicago will decline it if it's against LA, and it is.
No, it had to be. There's 3 defensive linemen and 1 linebacker. If they got called for it, that would have been a crime.
Offense, number 56. That penalty is
Ray Austin again. That's a play where you can easily be expecting pass and give up a play, and they made a good play in the backfield.
You know, it's tough when they've been sitting back, playing zones, kicking it back a little bit. They've got to learn. I mean, if you're going to stop them, you've got to be able to come up and make the commitment. But they're afraid if they come and commit hard on the runs, that they're going to get burned on play action. So they're really between a rock and a hard place.
Only other 3 and out was on that blocked punt back in the second quarter. The sun's still an issue for Ivy and Leverson standing at the Chicago 35.
Well, let's see if they go after it again and see if they can get a shot at it.
Al Luganville pulled a great move in the preseason. He had Noel Prefontaine take snaps at quarterback in each of the preseason games. Noel is listed as the 3rd-string quarterback, but he really is a punter. He's been a punter in the CFL. He's a great high school quarterback, a duly skilled guy, as Mike Keller from the league office said. He passed the straight face test, and LA is the only team that has a different kicker and punter. Everybody else.
The penalty was declined, and the ball should have been placed at the end of the run. It's 4th down.
Well, you talk to some of the coaches around the league, and they're not thrilled about the mechanism behind it. But
Ron Meyer said, "Great move. I wish I would have thought of it."
I wish I would have thought about it.
However, LA does have to give up a roster spot. The good news for Prefontaine, he gets the quarterback salary at $5,000 a game, although he has not taken a snap this year. Again, the sun an issue for both Corey Ivy and Luke Leverson. They have 2 back now to field the punt from Prefontaine. Noel, an All-American out of San Diego State, scored a touchdown last week. Good punt there, they got a piece of it. It was a block, so there is no flag. And Ivy was able to find the bounce in the sun and grab it. But again, the good special teams play.
Yep, they came hard after that one. and slid into it, too. Luckily, it was kind of incidental. Punter kind of stepped. Watch, you're going to see the blitz, or the rush come hard. Just missing him. And actually, Prefontaine kind of stepped on the rusher.
One truck offers you more horsepower than any compact, more brute force torque, and more sheer payload and towing capacity than any compact. Dodge Dakota. Its big truck capability overshadows the compacts. Now with 5-star protection, it's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas.
The XFL, a return to the smash-mouth roots of football. No dome stadiums, no artificial turf. The players want to get paid, they've got to suit up and play. And with teams called the Outlaws, Demons, Rage, and Hitmen, we can't help but have the coolest damn gear around. Caps, tees, jerseys, all available at select Foot Locker stores. Authentic XFL gear. Get it at Foot Locker today.
Hi, I'm Ryan Dempsey from the Florida Marlins, and I know the score.
Allegiances have been compromised. Bonds broken. Now, a fury swells. A wrath will be unleashed. The backlash, cold as stone. For those unfortunate few, payback's a bit.
Catch WWF pay-per-views at select Famous Players theaters. Pick up your advance tickets at the box office. Log on to famousplayers.com for more information.
When you buy a specially marked case of Bud Light, you get 3 free Dunlop double titanium golf balls. We wanted to see if we could top this promotion. So we tested giving things away like a Salt Lick, Broadway show tunes, and aerosol head cheese. But we decided to stick with the free golf balls.
Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. This calls for a Bud Light.
Back in Los Angeles, the Extreme fans are hoping the score can stand. L.A. leading 20-13, but Chicago has the ball. Their best starting position of the day at their own 47. Kevin McDougal, 7-16, been consistent. Here's Avery slashing to the left. Pushed out of bounds by Lamont Evans after a gain of 7 for John Avery. That's a good gain. He's been averaging only a little over 3 a carry.
You know what's good about it? Because they came in and they attacked that defensive front for L.A., which has been so strong. But then as just about the time they were ready to make a play, separate, and make the tackle, he bounces to the outside. They don't have the quicks to chase him then.
John's really more effective, too, when he could, as we talked about earlier, Bob, do that dancing and get out instead of plunging up the gut.
Right.
As LaShawn Johnson can bowl you over. 2nd and 3. McDougal, little play action. Avery's going to dump one near side. They haven't done that today. Willie Tate has got a lot of landscape to work, and Big Willie gets inside the 30, down to the 29, the 256-pounder out of Oregon, who had some NFL time with a couple of teams. Juan Long makes the stop. Good play, 17-yard pickup.
Yeah, you're watching here. Everybody starts right. They call this the "oh darn" screen. Actually, we called it something else, but when I played, but suffice to say, "oh darn" is okay.
Leap, maybe?
Everything goes to the right, and then just by the time you see the quarterback throw the ball, you look back, the tight end center, you're going, "oh darn."
Not the guys on offense.
No.
Thank you, Coach, for calling my name. McDougal, quick pass over the middle, and Tate's got it again. And Willie Tate has a gain of 6 yards on the play. Tate, who caught 10 passes for a couple of touchdowns this year, with 2 in a row for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a couple of catches, 10 catches, like you say, but if you're going to work the short game and include Avery and try and work that short game, you might as well get Tate involved in it. As many guys as possible, spread it out, so he's got more targets than just sitting back and hoping that Avery finds an open spot between a couple of zones.
Well, he certainly set up now after all the play to Avery in the wideouts. They've not used the tight ends at all. Now they're going to run with Avery. Slips and falls at the 29. Ramondo Stallings got in very quickly on top of Avery, perhaps forcing the split.
You want to know something? That started with Del McGee. Del McGee, that corner comes up. He's got run support on the outside, and it looked like Avery was going to bounce to the outside. McGee comes up. There's no way to run. He has to cut it back and get shut down.
Just 15 minutes to go. Winner goes to the $1 million game. Right now it's LA by 7, but Chicago on the move.
Race across America with Mickey and his friends. Mickey Speedway USA, rated E for everyone. Now on Game Boy Color. Get into it!
In the world of compact pickups, only one truck can have the most available power. Only one can offer the most towing. Only one has the biggest standard bed. Only one offers the longest wheelbase. The interesting thing is that all these superlatives can be found on only one truck, Dodge Dakota. Introducing 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2000.
The War Amps helps amputees from the very start with artificial limbs, counseling, and a belief that for these kids, when it comes to success, the sky is the limit. The War Amps Winner's Circle, a tradition of amputees helping amputees.
This quarter of Smash Mouth XFL football has been brought to you by Dodge, the #1 selling vehicle in its class. Dodge Dakota, different.
Get you back to the XFL in a second. Earlier today in the NBA, a Great Western Conference battle between the L.A. Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers. And check this out, an odd play. O'Neal shoves Arvydas Sabonis, he hits Rasheed Wallace. Now Rasheed, in his NBA record 40 technicals, decides, I'll throw a towel at my teammate. No wonder they lost by 5. Shaq, 33 and 18. Here's John Avery.
And he was telling me, he said, you know, whenever you're the guy leading them into battle, especially as a running back, it's all about attitude. You know, sometimes, you know, we may get a loss here or there during the season, but once playoffs come, you know, you got to have that attitude that nobody is better than you. No one is. And that's what the image I try to present in front of my teammates, is that when I get out there, I may do a little more trash talking this game. I may get out there and I'm going to run a little bit harder. You know, everything has to be turned up another level because only the best play in the championship.
John Avery, all about attitude, as he learned from Terrell Davis. So far, being held in check, although he has been effective, especially in the open field.
And I'll tell you what, out there, it's all about ego. Not bad ego, but good ego. You're landing across some people and you say, hey, I don't care what you say. I'm better than you, and I'm going to show you.
Huge play here, 3rd and 4. They are in field goal range with a pretty hot field goal kicker. McDougal looking left.
He's got him, he's open.
Touchdown! I beg your pardon. Luke Leverson had the ball, and it is not a score for Chicago.
Tough throw. The throw just floated in there. The secondary had a chance. Russell had a chance to catch up.
Bounced off the arm, I think, Bob.
As I said, watch the right side right there. Last second, Jeff Russell gets a hand right on the ball. Boy, what a shot.
Yeah, I lost that one in the glare.
Yeah, and you know what?
Good play by Russell.
And that was all on McDougal, too, because that ball got there faster. It would have been a touchdown.
Crossman from 30. Yeah! Andy Crossman nails it. He's a hot kicker. He's hit 6 in a row and 3 today. And Chicago has pulled it within 4.
Kimmy! I am the coach, and the World Wrestling Federation is all set to come back live to Canada Monday night, May 28th for Raw at the Pengrowth Saddle Dome in Calgary. Then on Tuesday, May 29th in Edmonton, it's SmackDown. Now, tickets for both of these great events, Raw and SmackDown, go on sale Saturday morning, April 21st. Both events sponsored by Nintendo 64. It's a WWF Live. It's Raw and SmackDown coming to Calgary and Edmonton.
One truck offers you more horsepower than any compact. more brute force torque, and more sheer payload and towing capacity than any compact. Dodge Dakota. Its big truck capability overshadows the compacts. Now with 5-star protection, it's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas.
On April 11th, the world will never be the same. Once you've seen it through the eyes
I can see down your shirt.
of Joe Dirt.
Hey, Freak Boy, 1976 called. It wants its hairstyle back. What?
Go on an adventure with Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt.
Boy's got something to say to me. Why don't you talk into the microphone? I got a backup mic right here.
Now playing in theaters everywhere.
This is XFL Sunday Total Football, exclusively on The Score. The wind blowing pretty heavily right now from our left to right. It's behind the Chicago kicker, Andy Crossland, who has not been able to boot him into the end zone yet. He will get the benefit of the wind here in this kick. Still comes up a little short. Gibson at the 14-yard line. Gibson finds some room, ran into his own man, and that helped out the Enforcers' defense on the return.
John, they've held you in check thus far, but we're in the fourth quarter now. You're down 4. You guys obviously got to make something happen out there.
Absolutely. Our offense is starting to click a little bit better. So we got him on the hill. Hey, happy birthday, Andre. I forget about you, boy.
All right, Andre's taken care of. The run game's taken care of.
Ron Meyer would like to take care of Tommy Maddox. 14 out of 20, couple of touchdowns for Tommy Maddox today.
48!
McCullough again in the backfield. Maddox is passing. Again, a lot of time. He dumps it over the middle. Gain of about 2 yards to McCullough. They'll take the short play. Again, that's that patient MO-type offense from L.A.
Well, take a look at what the Extreme have done here. You know, normally this is a team that, excuse me, that passes during the season. Right today, pretty much even today as far as the ratio of run to pass. But in the regular season, you know Tommy Maddox is going to wing that ball.
Would you say Chicago is taking them out of their game by giving them that?
That's what's happening.
Big play we're used to, and still wiggling free is Darnell McDonald, and he got down to the 40. Certainly, L.A. has turned the yardage throughout the day. 25 more there for D-Mac for L.A.
It just seems like every time Chicago seems to find the formula that they need defensively, L.A. comes back and they know what they have to do. Chicago comes, they start bringing people, they start to bring a linebacker, an extra rusher, set somebody one-on-one. Next thing you know, you've got a coverage problem.
They go now into the shade to be easier for the receivers. And out McCullough. Again, he got 3. Ray Austin made the stop.
And if you can't slow them down in the first one, Craig, it's going to kill you. Because now look, at 2nd and 5, you know, having played defensive line, you get up there, you jam your blocker, you get double-teamed.
Cover little clam, ready?
Next thing you know, the guy's making 5 yards. You just wonder where the linebackers are.
Harry, go!
48! You 48!
Maddox on the throw to McCullough. Tripped up in the backfield. Nice play. Jason Bray, who stepped up. Bray, who forced a fumble in the first quarter. A big one as L.A. was driving in. Has a good stop on McCullough, something they have not done much today.
And Bray was just, in fact, he didn't even get a good piece of it. He was lucky just to get a hand on his foot. Knocked him a little bit off kilter.
On a busy man in McCullough.
That's right. 42 plays. The ball has been in McCullough's hands 26 of those plays. Earning his money today.
3rd and 3, L.A. Disappointing 1 and a 5 on 3rd down today. Maddox will pass. Has McCullough in the flat. Finds him. Open field. No, he can't. He stopped. And the big hit was made by Larry Fitzpatrick. A loss of 3.
But Jamie Bailey also floating out there late, making a hit on it, getting the assist. Good job defensively, but we talked about it early in the game. It was all about Avery getting open space, getting him in space and getting to the ball.
Ball's at the 37.
Chris!
The 4-yard field goal attempt had they tried it, but it looks like they're going to punt with Noel Prefontaine. Now look out, Noel can throw the ball. He has not this year, but he did run a fake in last week. Just something to keep in mind. Ball live at the 12-yard line. Prefontaine. 4th and 6. Good punt. No fair catch, of course. Corey Ivy will have to get it at the 5. And Corey Ivy does a good job to sneak up and get near the 15-yard line. See where he stepped out. Rico Mack forced him out.
What's personnel?
Nice job of squeaking out there.
One thing that also aids in the coach's decision without the fair catch, you know they have to return it. So even if it goes to the 5-yard line or 4-yard line, it's pretty much backed up unless you can spring a punt return. Chicago will start at the 12-yard line.
Zoom up right, quick, 151 on 1. Ready?
Plenty of time left for the Enforcers.
I was going to say 4 points down. All they're going to do is they've done it before. They've worked it down. They got problems in the red zone, but in the field, they've been doing all right.
Only 1 turnover apiece. He's going downtown. He's got Junior Lord over his head. He had Lord open, but it's incomplete.
Tommy Maddox, your offense has been going up and down the field on these guys. A little disappointed you can't get some more points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, we're moving the ball well, but we got to score more points. Obviously, they're moving the ball, and we're in a tight game. We're doing exactly what we thought there was going to be, and we're ahead in the 4th quarter, and that's what you want to be. Now we just got to go win.
Maddox, by the way, 17 of 23. Not a bad day with accuracy.
LA inside of 10 minutes away from the $1 million game on NBC next week. Avery. Just 1 for Avery. Matt Kennelly, who's had an outstanding season, has 5 sacks. Tied for 7th in the league. Big, strong guy.
See, these guys are lucky I was here this week. All year long they've been talking about Maddox and McCullough and all these offensive guys. I don't think those defensive fronts will get enough notoriety.
Lid screen on 1. Ready? Watch for the hot.
They're doing the job. Avery talked about 2 60-yard runs today. He's got 40 yards on 12 carries. Along with 15. Big 3rd down play, 3rd and 9. To go back, throwing to Avery in the open field. This time he's covered well and crushed from behind by Kennelly again. And Chicago will have to punt. And LA should be in pretty good shape here when they get the ball.
Yeah, Avery getting up a little slow. Good reaction by Kennelly. That's a guy that is just fired up. You watch him 75. He's going to get the pass rush. Once the ball's dropped off, he chases downfield, and ain't nothing more satisfying than hitting someone with the ball when he's not looking.
Avery thought he was in good shape when he got by Eric Herron, the little linebacker. And then from nowhere, it was collapsed by Kennelly. Crossman, low front. If he gets a bounce, might get a break. Nope. And I took the light ball. Look out! It went the distance.
I saw somebody's helmet come out of the scrum.
Reggie Durden came out, but this was dangerous. Look at this.
Comes off one of the Chicago's arms. Ball comes free.
A wild chance. Chicago really had a shot there, but it's Durden that comes up with it. LA will take over at midfield here in the 4th.
In the world of compact pickups, only one truck can have the most available power. Only one can offer the most towing. Only one has the biggest standard bed. Only one offers the longest wheelbase. The interesting thing is that all these superlatives can be found on only one truck, Dodge Dakota. Introducing 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas. Dodge Dakota, difference.
Allegiances have been compromised. Bonds broken. Now, a fury swells. A wrath will be unleashed. The backlash, cold as stone. For those unfortunate few, payback's a bitch.
Catch WWF pay-per-views at select Famous Players theaters. Pick up your advance tickets at the box office. Log on to FamousPlayers.com for more information.
Well, L.A. leads Chicago by 4 in the fourth quarter. We should have a good finish here. That was not the case at the Skydome. The Jays finishing out there set with the Royals, and Kansas City scored 4 in the first inning, and that would be enough, as the Jays could only muster 2 runs against starter Blake Stein. Chris Carpenter takes the loss. Toronto falls to 9-4. Jamie Baisley anchoring that Chicago linebacking core.
Time left. L.A. starting their best field position, starting-wise, on the day. At the 50, McCullough's in motion. Maddox, ball's up in the air. Oh! And it's still caught, I think, by the intended receiver. And it was Leatherwood who was intended off the tip, and it came right to him for a gain of 5.
Hey, there's a big guy sitting inside. I mean, Leatherwood's a good guy. He goes up with the ball. He's gonna get a shot at pulling it down. Look at that, tip of the line of scrimmage. Leatherwood 6'2", 260. You want to battle for the ball, he's going to battle. Hey, Solomon McCullough so far, 6 yards every time he has touched the ball today.
You know the guy has good hands. He builds houses in the off-season. Industrial technology degree out of Appalachian State, and he showed them there. Good eye coordination as well. McCullough's loose! Saladin McCullough! 20, look out! Touchdown! No flags! A 44-yard score for Saladin McCullough.
That's the way to run that field, baby.
Saladin McCullough grew up always wanting to play here. He wanted to start for USC. He's finally starting to the extreme.
Watch on the outside. 31 Terry Cooks gets stuck behind one of his old men. One of his own men blocks him. He does not get out to run support. McCullough all the way to the end zone.
Ron Meyer told me yesterday he thinks Saladin McCullough is the second best rusher in the XFL. Today, he has been the best rusher in the XFL, outnumbering John Avery, a 158-yard rushing day. They're going to go for a point. So far, 4 out of 7 in the playoffs from the 1-yard line. McCullough has some room here, slipping free, still going. Oh, terrible tackling and good maneuvering. That's embarrassing tackling for Chicago and great effort from McCullough.
And I'll tell you what, you don't think these LA fans appreciate that? They are on their feet cheering for this guy. Hey, see, after that 44-yard touchdown run, the longest for LA of the season.
Saladin may lobby for a 2-point play because he got it at about the 5-yard line. 27-16. Chicago answers. We come back.
Someday, I'll be a knight.
I won't spend the rest of my life as nothing.
William Thatcher didn't make the rules.
You have to be of noble birth to compete.
He was born to break them.
Welcome to the new world. I've waited my whole life for this moment.
A Knight's Tale. Sneak preview May 5th, opens May 11th.
One truck offers you more horsepower than any compact, more brute force torque, and more sheer payload and towing capacity than any compact. Dodge Dakota. Its big truck capability overshadows the compacts. Now with 5-star protection, it's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas.
And here's the breakdown on the touchdown. Watch this. Run support by Ivy on the outside. Play here. Gary Cook should come up and fill. That does not happen. Watch it. Ivy comes up on the outside. He gets run support. You get good play right here, right there. Cooks should fill. He doesn't fill. He gets walled off. Saladin McCullough all the way to the end zone.
One little step this way instead of that way.
Exactly. If he would have come up into the line of scrimmage, filled where he's supposed to fill, it would have been a done deal. There would have been no slot at all. Would have been scrambling to pick up, get back to the line of scrimmage. But Cook stopped about 3 yards back. Gave him all the room he needed.
Look at that booming kick by Cortez Ivy, about 8 yards deep, manages to get it back near the 20-yard line.
Saladin McCullough, 158 yards rushing right now. Did you envision this kind of day?
No, but one of my players paged me early this morning and told me I had a dream. I ran for 140.
Everyone talked about John Avery, but you've been the star today in front of your home fans.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a big game today, and one of the top running backs in the league was playing today, and I just wanted to show up and have a good showing.
Well, whatever teammate of his that paged him that he had a dream about him going 140 must have woke up early before he got that last 18 yards.
He's gone for over 200, in fact 203 in total yardage. Still plenty of time for Chicago. McDougal firing. And the ball is brought in by Leverson. First down. Now Luganville. All right. Not fond of that call.
That ball bounced.
Well, it's just going to be base defense now.
11 points down with the extra point possibility. Chicago very much in it. They're going to go bounce away here. No! Turning inside was Junior Lord, and McDougal threw it way down the field.
No.
Let's take a look. You heard Luganville yelling about not liking it. Let's take a look at it. The ball is thrown short. Kind of pulls it out of the dirt like a shortstop. Pretty close. Yeah, they're losing by 11. Give it to them.
A little easier to see it on the slow-mo. Ref sees it in regular motion, but it did not look like a catch. McDougal on second and 10. Rushing, he may run. He's in some trouble. Gets free, still going, and he got near the first down, about 2 yards shot, a gain of 9.
Jamie Baszler, you guys have not been able to figure out how to stop Saladin McCullough. What's going on out there defensively?
Yeah, you know, he's a good back. We got to make sure we wrap up. We're not tackling well, and there's still some time left. The way our season's been going, you never know what's going to happen.
You're at the 5:30 mark, down 11. How important is it to get a stop next time out?
Yeah, it's important to get a stop, get the ball, try to get the ball possibly, but you never know. I mean, the way our season's been going, you never know.
Really critical at this point because they still need 2 scores. However, thanks to the extra point rulings, they've got a shot.
Well, you know, that's one of the things, too. All season long, we've seen good tackling. We've seen guys wrapping up. It's been one of the hallmarks, I think, of the XFL, watching these guys play. So many guys just really doing good base hitting and wrapping up. Today, hey, Jamie's right. His teammates are being a little lax.
Lamont Evans is down.
I got you. Okay.
The new dad.
Real good for us.
Getting his knee looked at. Safety out of Clemson.
Defense. Ricky, you're tight.
As we take a look here at the end of the play, Leon just kind of, yeah. You see as he starts to plant his foot, he just hyperextends snaps his knee out straight, hyperextends it.
Lamont Evans.
You know, we've seen enough of these things, the knee injuries and stuff over the years, where the legs really deform. That quick snap there, you know it's a hyperextension. It hurts like hell. It scares you a little bit, but you know it doesn't look like he's walking off pretty easily on his own.
Al Luganville, 5 minutes and 26 seconds away from taking his team to the $1 million game, but Chicago thinking about their own place in that game. They get the first down on the keeper. They're 11 down, Bob, with the 2-point rule and the 3-point rule. A I guess
Billy,
you'd be
don't be
thinking
afraid of Delta
6
now.
and a 2 gets you 8, and then you're within a field goal.
But don't be afraid of Delta.
You know, they told me that I'd have to use my math someday.
Well, last night in a kind of a strange move, Galen Hall went for 3, and it worked. When he was down 25 to 21 after a touchdown. Firing, it's incomplete. He had a receiver in Aaron Bailey open.
Clock's running now.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's just problems now, and Ron's feeling the wheels coming off. McDougal, who's directed this team. Last year, you saw him throw that pass to Junior Lord. Unfortunately, Junior Lord wasn't there, and now this pass way off target.
For whatever reason, Chicago just has not clicked today on either offense or defense, and having said that, they're still very much in the game. Bailey catching it, first down. Bailey spinning, and he's down to the 44. 15 yards. They've never done it easy all year. They were 0-4, 1-5. Won their last 4. Changed some things up, personnel-wise, and a battle to get to the semifinal game. McDougal fires, complete, Bailey again. Bailey still going, down to the 23. He found a seam. Reggie Durden on the stop.
Well, the good
21.
The good news for McDougal is when you start a drive like this with no huddle and you get picking up the yardage, what about now? The defensive line is starting to suck air so bad that he shouldn't have to worry about too much of a pass rush.
McDougal's going to try the draw to Avery. That didn't get more than a couple.
You know what? You know, that just didn't make sense at all. Ron Myers, I've known the guy for years. I respect him. But when you've just come down 50, 60 yards down the field, you've made the defensive linemen run the way they have. None of those guys are leaving the line of scrimmage. They're all sitting in the line of scrimmage thinking they can't breathe. Perfect play.
And it cost him 30 seconds for the clock, too. McDougal passing here, fires high, but it's hauled in by Junior Lord.
Good job.
The first down to the 9-yard line.
Not only did he run high and make the grab, but kept his feet.
Junior Lord with a big reception. They'll have to go for 2 on the PAT in this one. Earlier today, the New Jersey Devils still rolling. Yes, the defending champs look like just that, especially Scott Stevens. Just ask Shane Willis. My goodness gracious, NHLers are shaking in their boots. At least the ones that have seen that before. Devils win it 2-0. Martin Brodeur's 9th career playoff shutout, and this is a killer pickoff.
Aaron Bailey trying to get him. Can he get him? They're both running out of gas. And squeaking in is Abraham. Touchdown for 87 yards. Aaron Bailey had nothing left. It looked like he was going to angle him off.
Unbelievable. What a play. 87 yards on that touchdown return. Interception return. First off, what great concentration by Abraham in making the grab in the first place.
And he got up.
That was some fancy running trying to find his blockers.
L.A. Extreme.
Take a look at it once again. Left part of your screen, you're going to see under pressure. Great position. And here's where good pressure by Richard. Under here, every man for himself. Bailey just running out of gas. Can't get the angle. We'll see once again. Number 90, Dave Richard, good pressure. What concentration. Watch this tackle here by Tate.
Which one?
Yeah, I know that. He tried to leg whip him.
I thought Bailey was going to catch him. But don't forget, he was the intended receiver way down the other end of the field. Wow. The L.A. Coliseum jumping.
What's up, bud? Yo, I love you.
Take a break on his kickoff, baby.
Clifton Abraham did not play football last year.
What's up, baby?
I think he's happy to be back in the good air.
I know Coach just said to you, don't worry about it. You know, this type of thing happens, but it looks as though now you guys will not be playing for $1 million next week.
Yeah, it was a tough loss today. You know, we try hard. We just got to keep going and recover from this.
Kevin McDougal.
That's tough.
Who sat behind Rick Myra for 3 years, learned to be patient, got his chance and led Notre Dame to victory. Certainly the spark of Chicago in the second half of the season.
You're back in.
Pressured. Kind of reminds you a little bit of the play in the game last night where Pat Barnes was pressured and threw one away. We'll advise.
48!
Time a bit of a better catch on the conversion, a stop in the backfield by Ray Austin. Abraham made a great play on it.
It's going, yeah, it's going.
Clifton Abraham, how does it feel to be the guy that solidified your team's place in the $1 million game?
Hey, I'm tired, you know. But the thing about it, I just got to make big plays, you know. Big players make big plays in big games. You know, I'm just celebrating. I'm happy. I was able to contribute to my teammates.
Just talk about this victory that's about to happen here with your team. You guys worked hard all year. How's it feel?
Oh, it's beautiful. You know, we get to play for the championship in San Francisco. They're in our division. So we'll be ready. I'm glad it's over with.
33-16. Now, I'm just going to throw this out. There's only 2:21 left, but with the three-point play, you get 2 nines.
You're right. Two nines. 2 nines will get it for you.
This is like some kind of background, some kind of, get out, you know?
Oh, I knew
33-16. 2 nines.
Well, they've got to get it together.
You got to run back here. They haven't had all year for a touchdown.
They haven't had all year, right. And that was, by the way, we didn't even mention this, the first defensive touchdown by the Los Angeles Extreme this year.
L.A. Extreme, if they can hang on, will be hosting a $1 million game. If you're in Southern California, make your plans, no matter where you are, to come out and catch it. Chicago has 2:17 to try a massive comeback. Ivan. Number 22. Terry Rochelle made the stop.
Are you sure you're okay? That's all right.
Well,
I still want Penny.
They're going to come out. They're going to give it the shot. Like I said, 2 nines, touchdown, and 2 3-point plays is mathematically there. But I think if you look at the Enforcer players right now, they're pretty frustrated.
In fact, they're going to give you 1 9 and 8 to tie. It's a 2-point play from the 5-yard line.
You got too much free time.
2-minute warning. Clock ticking on Ron Meyer and Chicago.
In the world of compact pickups, only one truck can have the most available power. Only one can offer the most towing. Only one has the biggest standard bed. Only one offers the longest wheelbase. The interesting thing is that all these superlatives can be found on only one truck, Dodge Dakota. Introducing 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas. Dodge Dakota, difference.
Allegiances have been compromised. Bonds broken. Now, a fury swells. A wrath will be unleashed. The backlash, cold as stone. For those unfortunate few, payback's a bitch.
Catch WWF pay-per-views at select Famous Players theaters. Pick up your advance tickets at the box office. Log on to famousplayers.com for more information.
The next time you have a glass of water, think about this.
Each of us needs about 8 glasses of clean water every day to survive. That's 48 billion glasses of water worldwide.
Less than 1/100% of the world's entire water supply is available for drinking.
Wetlands help purify our drinking water.
But they're disappearing.
Think about that the next time you have a glass of water.
DU Canada, working to conserve our wetlands, working to preserve our water.
Hey, what about you, Coach? He said he was tight.
Back live.
Hey.
They're getting getting the Gatorade bucket ready for Al Luganville. A little early with 2 minutes to go. Let's see.
I don't think they're buying that whole 9 and 9 thing of yours.
Now, in this kind of thing here, Bob, do you have one guy as the phony guy that just talks to the coach, distract him?
You know, as the years have gone by, there's been more and more distraction. Yeah.
They got him with the orange. Last week they missed him with the Gatorade. They caught up with a little water.
Leave it to Big Jerry Kraft to be the distraction. You figure if anybody, he's going to be the one talking.
Google over the head of Bailey. It's incomplete. That matches the sunglasses. Now Luganville, same color.
I'll tell you what, one of the best Gatorade hits I've seen in a long time.
A little chilly there, Coach?
Well, they deserve it. I mean, listen, we're looking at numbers on them right now. 154 yards rushing, 171 passing, 325 total. I mean, if they're going to be that balanced, if their team offense is that balanced, how can people stop them?
John Avery with some room. Look out. Avery still going, still battling. Gets near the 40-yard line. Rock Welling at 146.
Here to see Jerry Kraft, 69, distracted him. And that Gatorade shot was so accurate that Kraft didn't even get a splash.
And even if you're winning a big game, for a split second, you're not happy. Nice goal. Bombs away. Coleman got him. Amazing catch. Did anybody hit him? They got him at the 15. I'm telling you, it's a long shot, but with the rules, it's not impossible.
Freddie Coleman with a beautiful catch, 45 yards on that one.
Buck 34 to go. Again, a reminder, a 2-point play if you score the touchdown from the 5, 3-point play from the 10. So effectively, they need a touchdown and a 3-point play, a touchdown and a 2-point play for a miracle. Leverson off his hand, it's intercepted. And that should just about do it. Leverson had it, and that sort of sums up the day for Ron Meyer and company. They had their chances, they had opportunities, but they could not come up with a big play.
And also, Leamon Evans is the one with the interception. We just saw him down with a knee injury. Not only is obviously he's better, but back and making plays.
Looked like it was in Leverson's hands, and he should have hauled it in.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right down the middle. The ball came down there, threw it in a little bit of traffic, but you got to do it at times.
It was a tough play. It was a tough play in all fairness to Leverson. The DB seemed to have pretty good position on him. Evans comes up with the play. Third turnover for Chicago. And it looks to be an all-West, all-California $1 million game. 48! Jerry Cooks brought him down.
Long we go, baby.
Chicago's going to just let the clock go here.
Yeah. Ron knows. Yeah, Ron Meyer, been through the wars.
Heck of a second half of the year for Ron Meyer at Chicago. Would have been very easy for John Avery and company to call it quits 0-4, 1-5. But the Chicago Enforcers earned the respect, certainly, of the fans, the teammates in the league, by roaring back in the second half to get to this point. Go! But in the larger picture, nobody was hotter than the LA Extreme.
Getting set for the XFL to finish up here, but the Stars and Oilers going at it at the City of Champions. And after 2 periods of play, the lone marker after a giveaway by Joel Talk. And guess who it is? Another Z, Sergei Zubov from the point, beating Tommy Sal to make it 1-0 after 2 periods of play. And it is over.
The LA Extreme are heading to the $1 million game. They will host against San Francisco next week on NBC, winning 33-16, finishing off Chicago.
Hey, Coach, you got to be happy. You're playing the big $1 million game.
What can I say? It's what we're here for. We got it. Great football game today. Just came up with some plays late and put it away, and we're extremely proud to be headed to the big game. More than that, we're having it right here.
From an offensive standpoint, everyone talks about the skilled players on your team, but really today, you have to be pleased with your offensive line.
No question. I think they've been the unsung part of our team the last 6 weeks. I've tried to tell people about them, but I think it took a game like this to show what they're really like.
And on the defensive side of the ball, you got some key turnovers.
No question that we earned them, though. We had to make the play, and we did. We earned it. We felt if we could keep it from the big play and keep the ball out of Aaron Bailey and John Avery's hands, we could win the football game.
Now, next week, you'll face San Francisco. You just played them. You got to go into this game with a lot of confidence.
I don't know about that. This is the best of 3. They beat us, we beat them, and this one's a new one, but this one's for all the marbles.
All right,
thank you.
Coach Ron Meyer, you ran into a bit of a buzzsaw today in L.A.
Well, they're a fine football team. We had a hard time generating consistent offense. We had our chances there in the third quarter. We couldn't stick it in. Maddox played an outstanding game. Then their defense turned it up in the fourth quarter. So we congratulate them. We wish them well in the playoffs. They're a good football team.
And can't deny what your team has done, though. Second half of the season, heck of a comeback for your squad.
Well, I'm proud of them. They did a great job. I just wish we could have taken it a step further. Thank you.
Well, Tommy Maddox, how's it feel?
It feels great. You know, this is what you worked for, and you just want to have a chance. And we've got a chance next week to win it all. And we're going to play a team that we beat 2 weeks ago, and it's always tough to come back and play a team like that. So they're going to be prepared. They're going to come in here and play us hard. But good job, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Good luck to you. Thank you. But, you know, right now we're just going to enjoy this one. Wait a little while to start getting ready for next week.
You told us the other day you're going to play football as long as you can. This has to make you want to play even a little bit longer.
If it's like this, they can't even kick me out. I mean, anytime you play any kind of sport, this is what you play for. And to win with a group of guys like this and to be able to play for a championship, I don't care if it's in your backyard. It's a great feeling.
One step away from $1 million, John, unfortunately, was not meant to be today.
Well, you know, we knew it was going to be a game where whoever made the most mistakes was going to pay. And we made the most mistakes. I mean, God is still good. And, you know, it's just that we got out here, everybody fought hard, and, you know, guys playing hurt, guys sucking it up. We weren't used to the heat. I mean, you know, a lot of things could play a role in it, but we made more mistakes.
Did they give you guys some looks that you just didn't expect or you weren't prepared for?
I think we were prepared, but at the same time, you know, you got to make decisions. Even when you're a running back, you got to make the right decision. And I don't think I made the right decisions tonight.
Is L.A. a championship team? Can they win this thing next week?
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't been up against nobody that stepped up like they did. They played a great game.
Thank you.
Jermaine Copeland, you said these guys could not stop you, and you proved it today.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, that's our offense. We high-powered like that. We know if we're on the go and we got things going, can't nobody stop us in the XFL.
You guys are going to play San Francisco in this $1 million game. You just beat them. How much confidence do you guys have going into this game?
We got a lot of confidence. We playing at home for the championship. We got the home field advantage. They coming in our backyard, baby. They better come prepared or it's going to be ugly. Trust me.
What about the job your offensive line did today? They allowed you guys to pass the ball and run the ball with Saladin McCullough.
Our offensive line's been real strong the last couple of games. Matter of fact, the last half of the season mostly. We ain't worried about our offensive line at all. They're going to do their job. As receivers, we just got to get out there and make the catches when Tommy throws it.
It's about the time the defense gets a little credit on this team.
I had a defense that stepped it up the last couple of times. They know it. We always put pressure on them before the game, and they come out on top.
Jermaine Copeland had a 26-yard touchdown to start it off. As Ron Meyer said, though, the score, you know, 33-16, a little misleading because Chicago certainly had their chances. Back to the field, and Chris Raggy.
Erupt, you got the whole gang with you here. Congratulations.
Family. Thank you. This was a hard-fought victory, but we persevere. This is beautiful.
You guys ready to spend $1 million if Daddy wins next week?
Yeah.
They got it spent for you already. Talk about today's effort. You guys are dominant on both sides of the ball.
Oh, definitely. We got a good showing today. You know, the offense played good, defense played well. You know, went through a good week of practice, so it pays off in the end.
San Francisco, you guys are 1-for-1 with them this year. I mean, you win one, you lose one, so even at one apiece, I should say.
Yeah, we even at one apiece, but this is the championship now. It's different, you know. everything's even now. We're going in there 0-0, starting all over. Anybody's ball game. But we're going to prepare hard all week and go into the game and come up with a victory.
Fun week ahead, or you to put this one behind you and really concentrate on the big one?
Definitely. We go back, relax tonight, tomorrow, and then come in on Wednesday and go to work.
Good luck in your shot for $1 million.
Eric Heron with some big plays for the extreme defense, doing a good job against McDougal.
Boy, they did. They really did.
As they look ahead now to the game next week, it's a series that went 1-1. It's the rubber game, all California $1 million game. San Francisco won when the teacher from Indiana, Mike Panasek, hit the field goal in the final seconds. 15-13 week 1, Bob. Week 2, though, was, or week 10 rather, a different story.
It was a beating, and it was all Los Angeles. And you got to look at momentum at this time. Both teams playing well, but I'll tell you what, this LA team today, maybe we're just partial because we were here watching it. What a balanced attack, both sides of the ball.
Bobby Maddox leading his team with a 2-touchdown effort today with a $1 million game. Back with more of our wrap-up in just a moment. It's LA and San Francisco in the big one next week.
Horsepower TV is an RTM production.
The Palace of Auburn Hills is usually home to the NBA's Detroit Pistons, but this summer it has a new tenant. Arena football has returned to the Motor City in a big way. Coach Mouse Davis is considered the father of the high-octane run-and-shoot offense. Led by AFL veteran journeyman Scott Semptimphelter, Davis's offense is already posting big numbers, and the expansion fury has already knocked off a playoff team by beating Oklahoma in only their second game ever. Meanwhile, a new team is also blown into the Windy City, stocked with AFL veterans like Derek Stingley. Chicago also won its first game ever just last week. Jeff Lutz used to back up Kurt Warner at Iowa. Now, after 6 seasons, he's got the controls of his own team and has already tossed 9 touchdown passes this season. Growing pains? Don't tell these clubs. It's a battle of precocious expansion teams next on TNN. Michigan, one of the great sports cities in America, alongside the Red Wings and the Tigers, the Pistons and the Lions. There's a new team in town, and they play here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Detroit Fury.